just realized you can hear. I accidentally moved my controller. Oh wait, hold on. YouTube. I forgot to put the arm down. And let's no hat. Okay. Yeah. We like to switch it up. Oh wait, the tablet's still here. That's not right. Okay, great. All according to plan. So, and we returned to Ace Attorney because I really need to finish this game, and it's not like finish it as in get it over with, but like finish it as in my recommended is starting to become Great Ace Attorney, and I need to finish this game before I spoil myself accidentally, right? So that's I think we were on case 3, but I don't remember. I think it was case 3. I'm pretty sure. Yes, it was. So case 3, part 1, probably? What is this? Why is it angry? Oh, there we go. Like that? Nope. I mean, nah. See, I can never figure out this whole the scrolling text thing. It just never works. It's just fated to never work. Okay, well, shoot. What happened last time? What was the last case? It was. What? Hold on. Oh, it was the one with Sotsuki again. Okay, so Sotsuki, and then. Oh, it's the one. Oh, right, and now okay, I realized this after the stream ended earlier, but like, so at the very end of that case, right, you find like, oh, there's like a collar with a fancy bee on it, and there's blood on the collar, and everyone's like, what? Wait, what is this? I have no idea, right? And I was like, okay, well, B is probably Baskervilles, right? Because that's what you know, gets Sherlock all nervous. But like, I was so confused. Like, why would they have a collar? Is there like a bear? Is there just like a really large human who likes to wear it? Like, I don't know. Like, why is there a collar? It's like, oh, duh, because the whole story is called The Hound of the Baskervilles. So it's a dog collar, duh. What? How did it not hit me? It's like, yeah, it's Baskervilles, but gee, I wonder who could be wearing this collar. Who usually wears collars? Oh. Come on, Shi, use your head. Okay. Also, I don't know if the volume's too... Actually, the volume is probably fine. I'm just gonna leave it where it is, because it's been okay so far. Alright. I think it's my own volume that's a little low. Return of the great departed soul.
The grand end of the century great exhibition of London. Surely there is not a soul who has failed to hear of it. Wondrous new works of culture and industry from every corner of the globe had converged on Hyde Park, welcoming over 50 million visitors.
Oh shit, 50 million.
The last great hurrah of this century. Astonished and delighted people of all nations, and ended on a note of resounding success. But as regards to the terrible catastrophe that occurred during the festivities, very few are aware my friend Mr. Herlock Sholmes had a hand in unraveling the matter. For from the shadows, it was he who earnestly unearthed the facts of the case. And like the centerpiece of the great exhibition, which rose high into the skies of Hyde Park. Sholmes's brilliant deductions, as clear and lofty as the Crystal Tower itself, brought the truth to light.
Okay.
We're here at the showground of the Great Exhibition, which is absolutely packed with people. The weather is unusually fine, and we're about to witness a most extraordinary scientific experiment.
Oh boy, a most extraordinary scientific experiment. I can't wait. This guy looks like a piece of broccoli.
The 20th century will see steam engines and electrical power dominate the world. Horse-drawn carts will give way to the motor car. Ships will sprout wings and take to the skies.
I don't know about that one, Chief.
And today, we showcase even more advanced technology. A glimpse into the future. A world first. A demonstration of my super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine!
Kinesis? Huh? What? What is a what? Oh my god, it looks like a Doofenshmirtz-nator.
Disassembled by a pulse of high voltage electricity and beamed to another location.
Oh boy, that's not gonna go well. Oh god, that's totally not gonna go well.
Whereupon his body will be reassembled by a series of complex calculations exactly as it was before.
I can't roll my R. Oh no. You're volunteering to do this? Why would you do that? It's like a death wish.
In but a few moments from now, these gentlemen will, in the blink of an eye, complete an incredible journey through the air. To arrive an instant later on the Crystal Tower behind you!
Oh boy.
This one, yes!
Oh no.
Yes!
See, what? Oh my god. That's not what I wanted. Okay. This is the thing, like, why would anyone demo an experiment without having first tested it? Why would you do that? Oh my god. Like, what? This is how these things happen. Then again, it's always in stories. I don't think anyone in the real world will be like, yeah, super dangerous, super possibly dangerous machine that we've never tested before. But if it works, oh boy, will that be extraordinary. Oh god. Okay. Anyway, 22nd October, 9:36 a.m. Sholm Suite. Thoughts. Oh.
Reno!
Oh god.
Reno, are you listening?
Oh, sorry, what happened to you? What was that, Iris?
What's the matter with you? You've been miles away all morning. Didn't you like what I cooked for breakfast?
No, that's not it at all. What were we talking about again?
Today's paper, it's full of news about the great exhibition again.
Oh, yeah, the Great Exhibition. I'd like to go sometime.
You're really not your usual self today. You seem very down. Don't you agree, Hurley?
It's the same. Did you say something, Iris?
Oh gosh, you're even more down.
Oh, but what? What? See, this song is stuck in my head now. I can't get it out. Dude, I listen to this song on repeat while working, which is not really the experience you want. with a song. uh, when, when did you arrive, Mr. Naruhodo? I've been here for about half an hour already. We had breakfast together. Well, I've been living here for months. What? Why didn't you mention it before? I, thought you might have known I was here, you know, because breakfast? Iris is quite right. You're clearly lacking in vim. So much so, I didn't notice your presence. Thanks. Of course, I could deduce the reason perfectly well with some simple observations. What? Let's see. Yes, for example, your tousled hair this morning, with all its unruly spikes. Clearly it can be deduced therefore. Therefore, that... let me stop you there, Mr. Jones, because I think I can see where this is going. Didn't you say this before? Like, oh yeah, your hair today. Wow, it's a mess. You know, it's like, my hair's always like this. My hair always looks like this. It always has, ever since we first met, in fact. Oh really? How interesting. It just doesn't look like a haircut as such, I suppose. Oh my god. Thanks again. I mean, okay, look. Out of all the main defense attorney characters in the Ace Attorney series, Ryunosuke has the most reasonable hair, right? It crossed my right mind recently that it's been 6 months now. Wow, that's like half a year.
6 months?
Since I was forbidden from working in court. Oh wow, it's been that long since the last case? So I've been wondering, how much longer am I gonna be banned?
Oh, well, that would explain why you seem rather glum. Don't you agree, Hurley?
What? Why are you down again? Did you say something, Aris? Back to moping. Moping over what? Why? What's the matter with Mr. Sholmes today? He seems even more down in the dumps than me.
I know, and the great exhibition has opened. You think he'd be excited. Oh, why don't we all go see it together?
I want to, of course I do, but I can't, not for the time being. Why not? Why not? Why not? Because I'm a great detective after all. So you're embroiled in some tricky case that you can't be distracted from, is that it?
I don't remember hearing that you're working on a case, Hurley.
It's a secret case. Or not. I suppose I should try to find out what's going on. Okay. Hey, look at my badge. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, about this. Is he gonna say it's a dog collar? Shh, not another word. Ah, yes, I see. This would be a collar for a breed of miniature canine with a particularly long neck. Yeah, okay, so this is the same as before. Okay. Precisely, which leads us to one conclusion. Your arm is in fact a particularly long neck of a miniature canine. I mean, if Ryunosuke was to step into that whatever scientist's machine, he might come out with a miniature canine as an arm. About 6 months ago. Half a year ago now, I took on the defense of a young girl in a trial heard at the Old Bailey. What at first seemed like a simple case of murder that took place at a London pawnbrokery turned out to be one part of a much more far-reaching plot that involved the British government. Ah, yeah. During the course of the trial, it was found that I made an unavoidable, yet at the same time, unforgivable mistake. It was a lose-lose situation. Orange family, the situation is utterly deplorable. Mission Naruhodo. Yes, my lord. I will decide upon your fate following the conclusion of this trial. Of course, my lord. And your fate was to not do law. In the end, I had my right to represent people in court revoked. I was told I had to spend my time in research and study, So that's what I've been doing. Oh, okay.
You have, haven't you, Rina? Reading all those big fat tomes. Reading all those big fat tomes about British law up in your room. And then notes about Sholmes' cases.
Brewing Iris's special blend of tea. Fetching my daily bread for me. He's just an errand boy. You've become something of a manservant around here. Start on the silverware next, Master Naruhodo. Well, I'm thinking of going to ask the powers that be to reconsider. What? I'm thinking of going to ask the powers that to be reconsider. Huh? What? Huh? What? Also, I need to screenshot the man service. My controlling job. I need to screenshot the man service. Or man service, yes. I save it. Okay. Alright. It's fine. Everything's a-okay. Alright. Specifically Lord Strongheart, at the Police Supreme Court on Whitehall.
Lord Strongheart?
Ah, the delightful Lord Chief Justice. Not my favorite fellow. He's not mine either, but he's the man I have to talk to. He's the only one who can grant permission for me to start working in courts again. I came to Britain to become the best lawyer I could. I can't do that just sitting around here. Hell yeah, Ryunosuke. The whole of London has been swept up in this great exhibition, hasn't it? The most advanced science, the most modern technology, the finest works of art and feats of engineering. For the next 6 months, our capital will be showcasing these things, and the world will be watching. What is this? What is this spray? What? Okay, Iris.
Oh, do you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to look down on London from one of those lovely balloons.
Look down on. Do you mean those things? Fly?
Yeah, of course. They fly high in the sky and don't even need wings to do it. All you need is hot air.
But how? How does hot air have anything to do with flying? It makes no sense. I can't understand it at all.
That's true of a lot of new scientific discoveries. Most people can't understand them at first. But in 100 years' time, all these things will just be common knowledge.
You overestimate how common knowledge is. I suppose they might be.
Mind you, some of the science being demonstrated seems very questionable. Something went wrong on the open experimentation stage yesterday, apparently. There was a huge explosion. Still, I wish I'd seen it though. I'd love to see how bad some of these scam experiments really are. Says the innocent 10-year-old girl. See here, every page of this paper carries some article about the Great Exhibition. But the brighter things shine, the darker the shadows that are cast behind them. Have you said that line before? Personally, I find myself drawn to the darkness, to the impenetrable. That is my proper atmosphere. Okay, alright, Evo. Newspaper containing various articles about worldly and science. Okay. Shadows cast behind? Is that a metaphorical way of referring to the back page of the paper? Is it? Okay, hang on. Hold on. Oop. Every article on the front page is news about the Great Exhibition. Public experiments to demonstrate brand new scientific ideas, culture exhibits from around the globe. It's also positive and hopeful about the coming century. We must all go see it properly before long. Look at the broccoli guys there. 10 pages, 1 penny. London News, Daily Record of British Empire. London News. And oh! Lost Cat? Oh man, dude. That's what Sherlock was talking about. This really is a dark world. How could they lose the cat? Oh, that poor cat. So lonely out in the wild with no home. Oh no.
And there's nothing else interesting on this paper. Okay. So many glowing reports about the Great Exhibition and everything that's going on there. Other than this rather gloomy one, that is. Wait, what?
What's the matter, Runa?
Reaper attack. The Reaper attacked. That's Lord Van Zieks. That must be what Mr. Sholmes was talking about. Does he know any more, I wonder? What is... So it's the Reaper and then there's like a dude with like a mask? Or is the Reaper... No, the... Wait. Okay, Lord Van Zieks and compatriot cornered. Ruffians aim to intimidate a man of justice. Okay. Okay. I see. Oh. Okay, we can ask... Well, first, why are you sad? Are you investigating a particularly tricky case at the moment, Mr. Sholmes? You could say that, I suppose. Nothing more to add? That's not like you. What sort of case? Shh! Quiet, Mr. Naruhodo. We must not discuss it here. You never know who might be listening. Iris is in the corner like,
You can talk about it with me. You're acting very strangely, Hurley.
What do you mean, Iris?
Well, usually, the more mysterious and complicated cases, the better Hurley's mood.
Oh.
Is it really a case that's bothering you?
Iris, please! You mustn't exercise your astute powers of observation and deduction on me without invitation. Remember what I always say. Put yourself in the shoes of the individual about whom you're making deductions. You say that, do you? You, Mr. Sholmes? Never mind. Once I've had a cup of tea, I must make my way at once to the crime scene. That was a deep sigh. Does it have to do with the Reaper or something? It says on the paper that Lord Van Zieks was attacked. That's terrible. You know the legend of the Reaper of the Bailey? Of course, don't you? Only too well, in fact. Yeah. Prosecutor Brock Van Zieks. With his so many glasses of wine. They say that if the Reaper is the prosecutor for a case, there's no salvation from whoever's in the dock. Or salvation for the wine industry, even if the defendant is found not guilty. Once the Reaper has someone in his sights, one way or another, that person's time left on this earth will be short. London's finest rogues always find ways around the law. They'll stop at nothing to secure an acquittal at trial. Falsifying evidence, paying sham witnesses, threatening jurors, bribing judges. But even such devious tactics as these cannot save them from the hand of the Reaper. So you get rid of the Reaper? As you've experienced it yourself, haven't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Yeah, I've seen the Reaper's retribution at work. Many of these criminal rogues are reckless and quite unafraid to die. If a leader among their fraternity is seen to have been taken by the leader, a retaliation like this does occur. Oh, okay. Really, the capital has a never-ending supply of such scoundrels. So, do you mean Lord Van Zieks has been attacked like this before? This isn't the first time? He's quite an accomplished combatant, you know? He doesn't take these attacks lying down. Although, it seems that his assailants were armed with guns this time. Oh my goodness. Is he alright then? Is Lord Van Zieks hurt? My dear fellow, how on earth would I know?
Well, in the article here it says, as to what of Lord Van Zieks and his condition, all will be revealed in tomorrow's morning edition.
Oh, I see. Well, we shall have to be patient then. No, I can't wait till tomorrow. Never mind. In that case, You shall have to inquire with somebody in the know. But who? Lord Strongheart, perhaps? They both have Lord at the start of their last name, though. Oh my god. Oh. Well, I must be leaving now. Yeah, understood. See you later, Mr. Sholmes. Huh. You really are a shameless liar sometimes, my dear fellow. What? You seek to put me off my guard and follow me, don't you? Well, you would be wasting your time. The thought hadn't crossed my mind, but now I'm wondering where you're going. Well then, see you later indeed. Fade away. Listen to him. He's still laughing on his way out the door. Oh, whoa, Iris! What? Wait, she has like an outdoor like coat thing too? Cute. Though I don't know about the Mickey Mouse hat.
Alright then, Runa, let's keep going.
Oh, Iris, what are you wearing?
I've got change to go to the great exhibition. You're gonna take me.
What? But I was just about to go to the Supreme Court.
Oh, well, that sounds fun too. You're gonna take me there then.
Alright, fine. Just lower that weapon, would you?
Of course. And after the Supreme Court, we'll go to see the great exhibition.
Okay. Great exhibition. Or no, Supreme Court. Lord Chief Justice. It's been 6 months since Susie went back to Japan. Okay. Woo! Ah, the pigeons. The endless supply of pigeons in the background. 22nd October. British Supreme Court. Lord Chief Justice's office. It's been about 6 months now since I was last here. But some things never change. Like the sense of foreboding I always seem to feel in this place. What? Iris? It doesn't seem to be bothering Iris at all though. She's happily reading over there. It's like, okay, mom has to go do things. It's like, okay, wait right here, right? Okay. It's just like it's a kid lodging in like, I don't know, on the floor in an office.
Oh, I love this place.
It's bring your kid to work. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I love this place. I always find so many interesting books here.
Of course, I'd forgotten that you've been here before. The time we came here 6 months ago. Oh boy, flashback. When Susato-san was given the news that she was to return to Japan. Right. Oh, I understand you wish to speak with me. Oh, Lord Strongheart, I trust you've been keeping well? Oh no. Let's see, since you arrived in the Crescent audience, it's been 4 hours, 32 minutes, and 26 seconds. Oh, I've kept you waiting a while. My apologies. It was 4 hours late. We've been waiting here for 4 hours? Oh no, not at all. I like nothing more than standing around staring into space. All alone with my thoughts. Good to know. Good to know that doesn't appear to bother him at all. Well, it should. Neil Strawheart, Lord Chief Justice of London. He's the man who allowed me to start practicing as a defense lawyer when I arrived in Britain as a student. You need only savor the air for a moment in this grand office to understand his preeminent status. As you will be aware, the Great Exhibition of London is now underway at last. We're extremely busy as a result. Policing the grounds, guarding the new technologies, dealing with petty crime, and furthermore, as of next month, we shall open the International Forensic Science Symposium. Oh, I have not heard about that. Investigating authorities from 40 countries around the globe will be taking part, including from your own land. Forensic science is the future. The world must embrace it. Oh boy, fingerprinting pattern? As we're the hosting nation, I have much to do. And it is my highest priority. If others must wait for my attention as a result, so be it. Well, it's nice to know where I stand. Oh man. So, you wish to consult with me? Of course, I can very well imagine what this is about. Thank you for agreeing to this meeting, my lord. I want to be allowed to start working as a defense lawyer again in court. That's what brought me here today. But actually, there's something else playing on my mind, as it happens.
Rena, just take a deep breath and come out with it. Just take a deep breath and come out.
Okay. Hey, you want to see my promo badge? But by the way, Lord Strahd, about this. The symbol of a defense lawyer in the Japanese judiciary. Oh, I didn't expect you to know that. We never accept foreign students before... I can't do this. We never accept foreign students before first researching the legal systems of their home countries. But such trinkets are merely for show. The only true measure of your worth is your performance in court. Yeah, right. Okay, I'll present the newspaper after because I think that might be... Yeah. I actually came here today to ask for your permission. Go on. 6 months ago, my right to work in court as a lawyer was revoked, and I was told to spend my days studying. Obviously, I am very sorry for what happened, but the thing is... it made me understand what it really means to defend somebody under the rules of a foreign justice system, and I desperately want to have another go. Please, permit me to enter the courtroom again. Mr. Naruhodo. Yes? Oh, here it comes! I'm sure you haven't forgotten your position here, haven't you? Have you? At best, you are a substitute for your compatriot. This was never your intended role. Well, that's true, but ouch, man. The Japanese government actually sent my best friend on the study tour, not me. It should have been Cosmo. So determined to bring change to our own justice system at home. That was his call. Oh no, not the theme! Oh, it's his theme! No! Why are you showing this picture? If that tragic accident hadn't happened, I wouldn't be here in this office now. Mr. Asogi was my best friend, you see? That's why I can't leave it unfinished. I have to fulfill his calling for him. His calling, you say? You're his best friend, or, in short, BF, you say? Has it never occurred to you that perhaps you know nothing of his true call? Sorry? A mission with which the young law student was charged. What do you suppose it really was? What do you mean? Mission? Not making any sense. Never mind. I've read all the reports you've submitted over the past 6 months. It's clear to me that you regret your actions, and have been studiously obeying your revised instructions. Do you mean? As of this moment, I reinstate your license to practice law here in Great Britain. Hooray! But also, elaborate on the other point? Oh my god. What's with everyone and like saying things and then being like, nah, never mind, I'm not gonna tell you. Thank you so much.
That's wonderful news, Rena. Oh my god, I'm so sorry about the voice.
In fact, I believe I have the perfect case to mark your comeback. A curious affair. You'll consider it, I hope. Oh, of course, please tell me more. A curious affair? You described it as a curious affair? Yes, that's right. I believe it was reported in the press. Are you aware that there was a serious accident at the Great Exhibition yesterday? Oh, no.
Yeah, I read all about it. A professor from Germany tried to carry out a crazy experiment.
Oh no, he's from Germany?
Let me see, how is it described? Super high voltage instantaneous kinesis, I think.
Instantaneous kinesis? As in moving things with the click of the fingers?
That's right. It's just what my herbal buns need. A dash of devil-may-care.
What? Whatever the serious accident was exactly, it's clearly captured Iris's imagination. It's an unfortunate business. It's an unfortunate business. A large explosion engulfed the public's experimentation stage, and a man lost his life. A certain Mr. Odie Assman. Assman? Osman? Assman. An inventor and well-known figure in society. A large explosion.
A man died?
The man responsible for the explosion was Professor Albert what? Hairbrain. Albert Hairbrain? Hairbrain? Harbrain? Hairbrain. There's an E. But Hairbrain? Hairbrain. Hairbrain, because his hair is like a brain. Okay. I don't think that's it. He was detained immediately after the incident and is due to appear in court tomorrow on the charge of murder. What? Murder? If you intend to take on his defense, you should hurry to meet him at the prison. There is very little time left for you to carry out any kind of investigation. Thanks for the case, Lord Strongheart. Okay, exhibition. A scientific experiment gone wrong? And murder? I feel out of my depth before I even started. Still.
We should go to the prison straight away then, and try to meet with this German professor, don't you think?
Definitely. Oh yes. One more thing about the case. There's a connection with our mutual acquaintance, the Reaper. There's a, huh? What? I mean connection with our mutual acquaintance. Oh, with Lord Van Zeeks? How? Okay, this is something. All sorts of conferences have been taking place around the world to coincide with the Great Exhibition. And next month, the largest and most important of them will take place at last. The International Forensic Science Symposium. It does seem as though criminal investigation needs to embrace scientific methods, doesn't it? Exactly.
Ah! The birds! The birds, they just come out of nowhere all the time.
London, the global epicenter of culture, science, and wealth, now has a population exceeding 6 million. Sadly, crime in the capital is growing at a similarly startling rate. So it's imperative that we use the latest scientific methods to investigate and resolve cases as efficiently as possible. Which is what's known as forensic science, isn't it? Exactly. The future of policing.
Ah!
Regrettably, however, Britain is currently dragging its feet when it comes to adoption of forensic methods. Oh dear, that's alarming. Exactly. It's extremely alarming.
Ah! The pigeons, they just keep coming! How many does he have back there?
If I were Her Majesty's attorneys... What? If I were Her Majesty's Attorney General, you can be sure. The number of crimes committed and resolved in London would be very different to the current figures. And I can cite 12 solid arguments and 223 individual reasons to support my claim. Sorry? Wow, you spent a lot of time thinking this over. Oh god, my voice is not. By way of apology for keeping you waiting earlier, I shall detail everyone now. What?
Oh, how fascinating!
Iris, no, please do not encourage him. We do not have this time. It all began 15 years ago. I was... Yunosuke? He passed out. Oh my god! He's still going. And that more or less sums up my feelings on the matter. In the simplest of terms, of course. Look out the window, it's like nighttime. Essentially, to formally establish a forensic investigation division with Scotland Yard. That is my mission. Oh, right, yes, that's wonderful. Exactly. Wonderful is precisely what it will be. Iris isn't paying attention at all. She's got her nose in another book now. Save me, Iris!
Oh, is it over? Did you learn anything useful?
I actually drifted off for the most part. He's surprisingly ardent about forensic science. I heard that. I heard you drifted off. Oh no, I didn't. Oh, that reminds me. Have you seen this? The reports of the overwhelming success of the Great Exhibition, of course. No, not that. The story on the back page. What story? The Reaper attacked. Ah, that. You've enjoyed some victories in court against my #1 prosecutor, have you not?
Poor Mr. Reaper. What will happen to him? He wasn't killed, was he?
There's no need for concern. Lord Van Zieks would not be so easily dispatched, I assure you. Can you tell us what happened? I'd really love to know. Very well. If it interests you. It does, strangely. Van Zieks' condition. Fortunately, Lord Van Zieks emerged from the attack unscathed. Street ruffians are no match for that man. He's a very capable fighter. But that's incredible, they were armed with guns! Ryunosuke, have you seen how high his leg can kick? Like, come on. This shouldn't be surprising to you. How was he attacked though? Do we know? It's related to events that occurred a month ago. A leader of one of the capital's criminal organizations was indicted and prosecuted by Van Zieks. But the man was acquitted. I have no doubt large sums of money were involved behind the scenes. Large sums of money? A deplorable situation. Members of the jury were bribed, it seems. However, despite winning his freedom, the man is in question met a dramatic end yesterday. But you're not suggesting that was the work of the Reaper, surely? The victim's henchman surely seemed to think so. He was a man by the name of Wait! The guy who died in our current new case? He was named by the name of Assman. Assman. I never forget Assman. Mr. Audi Assman. Did you say Assman? I know it's not Assman, but...
That's the man who died in the big explosion at the Great Exhibition.
Yes, known publicly as an investor, but in reality, the head of a significant criminal organization. Unbelievable. I wonder, can I ask you something? Oh, can I ask you something, Lord Strawheart? Try me. Why do you use Lord Van Zieks as a prosecutor? All the criminals who manage to get off in court then meet with mysterious ends outside the courtroom. And fearful of that fate, they seek to strike Lord Van Zieks first. I know there's no evidence that he actually is the Reaper in that sense, but still. Something's clearly going on here. I have Van Zieks work for the prosecution service for 2 reasons. Firstly, the man is the best prosecutor in the capital, bar none. And secondly, any deaths of criminals that have occurred outside the courtroom following his trial are nothing to do with him. But that doesn't make any sense. How can you explain the way so many have died if not by someone's hand? Van Zieks may have earned himself the moniker of the Reaper, but he is no killer. So he will continue to prosecute on behalf of the crown. Unless he wishes otherwise, of course. Right, so what? So it's just weird coincidence? Like, can it really be that coincidence? Well, I must be leaving for my next engagement. I'm already 11 hours and 16 minutes late. My colleagues may be starting to fidget. 11 hours late? That's quite some time. That meeting had already started when I arrived back here for this engagement with you. So it's definitely ended now. So lateness was inevitable. Time stops for no man. You know, our whole thing could have been way shorter if you just didn't spend all that time talking about forensics. I'm sure it stopped for me during those 12 solid arguments and 223 reasons. Oh yes, where can I find Lord Van Zieks now? I would assume he's at his office. Right, I'll go and ask him about the attack in person. I want to get this straight from the horse's mouth. But away with you now. I'm leaving Prosecutor Hairbrain's defense entirely in your hands. Of course, yes. Thank you very much, my lord. Bye. That means we get to see Van Zieks outside of court. Hooray! Prosecuted out. Okay. No, we'll go to prison first. And then we'll see Van Zieks. Oh. Broccoli. 22nd October, local prison cell 11. The one that said cell 11. That's this one.
Oh, there's someone curled up in a ball in the back corner. Look.
What's his name again? Professor Albert Hairbrain, wasn't it? Excuse me, Professor Hairbrain? Uh. Sorry. Let me clear my throat. Who are you? I'm Yunosuke Naruto. A lawyer! Was it something I said? A lawyer, you say? What? Would you hear about the experiment? Are you going to defend my hypothesis? Your hypothesis? Sorry, I don't... Yesterday's demonstration! That magnificent demonstration was... It was an out success, but by anyone's calculations. Well, it was a success, but despite that, no one listens. No lawyer believes in science. When it's explained, they all leave at high velocity. What? Oh, he has a cowlick. Now's probably not a good time to mention that your zeal made my concentration leave for a while. Oh boy, okay. Yesterday's demonstration. You mentioned the demonstration yesterday.
The papers have called it a spectacular failure. After all, a man died in an explosion, didn't he?
Oh! Yes, you could interpret the results that way if you wanted to. Well, I suppose in the strictest sense, the experiment was a failure, but at the same time it was a great success. You've lost me. Schrodinger's experiment. I saw it with my own eyes, right there in front of me. Mr. Asman was spontaneously disassembled. Until then, everything was going exactly as my calculations had predicted. At that point, he should have been beamed to the Crystal Tower by instantaneous kinesis. However, the machine exploded and Mr. Asman in fact perished? Yes, I can't deny that part of the experiment was a failure. So, what you're really saying is, the large explosion that killed Mr. Asman was an accident, correct?
But the bigwigs have you arrested on suspicion of murder.
I was responsible for a man's death. That is the immutable truth here. And for that, I wish to be punished. At once! But... murder! Never in a million years! It was an accident, simply an accident! I see.
Earlier and I was talking this morning, you know? He said the situation would change completely depending on whether it was treated as an accident or murder.
How exactly?
Well, if it really was an accident, then the professor's machine would have been kept in protective custody.
On what grounds? Oh yes, it's newly established here in Britain. The Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act. That one passed me by.
But if the case is treated as murder, then they'll say my machine.
Oh, wait up. Then they'll say my machine was the murder weapon, and they'll be able to pour over it as much as they like. If they examine it in detail, they'll find out how it's made, and then they'll be able to copy my idea. My precious hypothesis will be stolen. The machine must be protected from that at all costs. That's why it's imperative this whole situation is shown to have been an accident in tomorrow's trial. Ah, I see now. I do see. I get it, okay. Down. What if it's just, a ploy by someone up top, right? Like, they messed with the machine a little bit, and then, in order to make it kill the guy who was inside, right? And then pin Mr. Hairbrain, pin it on Mr. Hairbrain as murder, so that they can get the details of the machine and understand it. Right? Instantaneous kinesis. So, in short, there was a terrible accident at the Great Exhibition Showground yesterday. Yes, or rather, no. The devil is in the details. Strictly speaking, there was a terrible explosion. Sounds the same to me.
You were demonstrating super high voltage instantaneous kinesis, weren't you? How fascinating!
Humans, like all matter, are made up of particles that are held together by electrical bonds. So it must be possible, using a sufficiently high voltage, to break those bonds and beam the particles through space. That's it in a nutshell. That's my idea, you see? That's my amazing hypothesis! God, that's unimaginably high-level science. Yeah, it is. Oh, but dare to imagine it, dare to dream of such incredible technology. Just think, one moment I could be here in this cell, and the next, I could be at the Great Exhibition again. Well, yeah, that would be incredible. And the next, I'm in the mere blink of an eye. I could be at the Great Partition Theatre, say. The possibilities are endless. The whole of our vast planet would be within reach. So no more hiding in wardrobes on rocky seas for 50 days?
I don't really see it as that.
What do you mean, Iris?
Well, if you could travel anywhere in the world instantly, the planet wouldn't really seem vast anymore, would it? I think you'll just feel like it has shrunk.
It's a small world after... My word, that's exactly right! What are the implications? What does this mean?
Oops, that got Professor Bunnybrain really worried by the look of it.
Clearly, this is yet another case of just because you can doesn't mean you should, I suppose. The point is, my calculations are flawless, the science works, but without a practical demonstration, it means nothing. And that's why the flaw, and that's always the flaw in the ointment. What, did you not test this on, like, non-living things? Like, did you not test this on, like, an apple or something?
Because practical demonstrations cost a lot of money. Money that young scientists like you don't have.
Oh. That's exactly it! Yes! Oh. Okay.
Riley's always complaining about it. He says the government should invest more in science.
Well, anyway, I bumped into him at the right time. I met the well-known investor, Mr. Asman. The victim who died in yesterday's terrible accident, you mean? The victim... The full name of the guy who died yesterday in yesterday's accident was Mr. Adi Asman, wasn't it? What exactly was your relationship with the man? He first visited me in my laboratory in Germany a year ago now. He said he wanted to invest in my immaculate hypothesis. I think my lucky stars. I see. So you hadn't really known each other until then.
ready for scientific research. I'm so envious.
As far as I was concerned, the man was an angel. Angel. Oh, really? I feel like I have to up his voice a little. I think it's too close to Sherlock's.
An archangel, even. He was prepared to fund a practical demonstration of my hypothesis for a presentation at the Great Exhibition. And if that went well, I could expect additional financial support for my research from the British government.
They just like, oh my god, the animation.
Mr. Assman has provided me with money and an exceptional engineer. He produced a machine to my precise specifications.
But then, your genes are blended as in one enormous explosion.
As you can see, I owed everything to Mr. Assman. I would never, ever have thought of taking the man's life.
Well, he seems genuine enough. I don't think he's lying.
Oh hey, look at my badge! Ah, fascinating, yes!
In Japan, where I come from, it's the symbol of a defense lawyer. Wearing it is very embracing, I find.
Your words make some sense to me, but they are entirely illogical.
What do you mean?
Well, for example, I find this white laboratory coat that I wear for my work very bracing too. However, in my case, there's a perfectly logical reason for that feeling.
Oh, really? What is it?
I purchased the wrong size by mistake. This one's too small for me. The sleeves, especially, are extremely bracing. I can barely move my wrists.
That's what you call logical, is it?
Of course, it's entirely logical. The science, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, okay. I thought he was gonna say, wow, your armband is too big.
How could this have happened?
It must feel awful. As well as a man losing his life, the Crystal Tower was greatly damaged too.
I knew what happened. It must have been that.
That?
The day before the demonstration, I had my usual meal of frankfurters at the hotel restaurant. When I paid the bill, they gave 3 shillings too much in change. But instead of saying anything, I just slipped the coins in my pocket. They're still there now.
It's karma.
It's divine retribution for my wrongdoing. That's what this is.
For a scientist, he has some very illogical anecdotes. Long and illogical. Oh boy. Okay. Well, I guess that's all we can talk to him about. See you later. We're gonna go see Van Zeeks. I thought he was gonna direct us somewhere else. Prosecutor's office. Wow. There's a shelf with 3 bottles of wine and oh my god, so many chalices. Oh.
Oh, so this is the legendary Reaper's office. Yeah, I can tell immediately from that shelf over there.
Yeah, it appears so.
It sends a chill down your spine, doesn't it? What an amazingly deathly atmosphere.
I thought she was gonna say, wow, it's so cold. It might be because the temperature needs to be cold in order to cool the wine that's stored on the table over there. Oh, is that? That hooded figure was so still I hadn't noticed his or her presence. I wonder who it is. This looks like a cult situation happening. What are you doing here? Ah! Oh. Hi. Very intimidating from the front. He's as unwelcoming as I thought he'd be. Actually, maybe even more so. Oh, I'm glad to see you're well. I am. So, who's the person over by the wall being punished or something or nothing? No punishment is taking place here. Oh. It's my apprentice. He's sitting there of his own free will. I didn't know you had an apprentice. Must be the same person who was pictured in a newspaper. With the bird mask? Okay. It's very able in combat. Requisite skill for anyone under my tutelage. Are you referring to the attack on the Reaper that was reported in papers? How come, like, when you become a prosecutor, you can't just be a prosecutor? Like, you have to also be something else? The Reaper. I'd be interested to know the Reaper's true identity myself. Assuming, that is, such a fabled fiend genuinely inhabits our great courtrooms. Huh? Oh, hey, wait, Van Zeeks, you look at my curl-up badge. I know. I know you. He actually shows it to him. I know you've seen this around my arm before, but what is it exactly? It's the mark of a defense lawyer, in Japan at least. And what's your reason for showing it to a British prosecutor? Oh, I don't know really. I can understand, at least. There's merit in reminding yourself of who helped you become who you are today, or what you are today. Oh. But that is a personal matter. Something you may want to keep close at all times. Not something to flaunt. No, I suppose not. Thank you for understanding, though. We got a reward. Do prosecutors have badges? Is it the flower thing that's staring me right in the eye? Is that the, like, the quote-unquote prosecutor's badge? Because I know Edgeworth has one, so there's definitely a prosecutor's badge. Usually, maybe, I don't know. And again, he's also wearing all this other, fancy military garb, so... That's a nice attack. Roy Strongheart said that the assault last night was some sort of revenge attack? True. Carried out by henchmen of Odi Assman's criminal organization. Investigation meant their arrests were imminent. Presumably, some hoped to kill me before that happened. Odi Assman. He is always masquerading as one of London's most powerful financiers, a global investor. But his enormous wealth came to him by underhand means, via his criminal activities.
Can you use that?
Oh my god, voice, can you please come out?
He used that money to buy himself a verdict of not guilty when he found himself in court, didn't he? Being prosecuted by you, Mr. Reaper.
But the man got his in the end. Yesterday, in fact, in extraordinary circumstances. It was the most unusual cause of death. I know about that. His super high voltage instantaneous kinesis gone wrong. Mr. Assman died when the demonstration on the public experimentation stage ended in an enormous explosion. Correct. And you think I have some kind of divine ability to cause an accident like... Well, no. That does seem a little far-fetched. I pressed too early. Okay. If this man really is the fabled Reaper, then he has to be innocent of this particular death at least.
It's strange how this has worked out, isn't it, Runa? I mean, what with you taking on the professor's defense for the trial tomorrow?
What? You're gonna be defending him? I like how his pose is like shocked, but his face is the same. Oh, yeah, that's right. Though I barely know the man's name yet, to be honest. We went to see him in jail, right? Come on. Albert. Albert Harebrain. That's right. Do you know him by any chance? Of course. He's a contemporary of mine. We were at university together. What? You're... Huh?
What?
You're contemporary. So, like, classmate? I'm understood that Professor Harebrain was from Germany, though. Harebrain's from a respectable British family. After graduating from the University of London, he moved to Germany to carry out research. That's all. Sorry. So you were students together? I was in the Faculty of Law, of course, and he in Science, so our paths rarely crossed. But curiously, we got along, though I've not met him since my university days. I certainly didn't expect our next encounter to take this form. And with you, of all people, representing him. Maybe if I can make it out of this office alive. He's actually been charged with murder, it seems. I know that. Yes, I know. Because the prosecution will be handled by me. By you? Why are you surprised? Who else is gonna be? Come on, you're not kidding. But you made it sound as if you and the professor have been friends. We are friends. It's true. Then why would you do this?
If the Reaper is the prosecutor, there's nothing anyone can do to save him. He is doomed.
What's Lord Van Zeek's thinking? So the Reaper is like, okay, so they call Van Zeek's the Reaper of the Bailey because of all the aforementioned stuff, right? But it seems like they're making it sound like there's an actual Reaper. Like there is actually someone going around making these accidents happen, which doesn't make sense because like, right? Because it seems like a lot of these are just kind of either accidents or like it couldn't be caused by one singular person, right? Basically, what I'm saying. So, what? It's just bad luck, right? Like karma, it's like, I don't know. Whatever. What do you mean by what you said before? If you'd like to know the Reaper's true identity, does that mean I'm a crown prosecutor, an immortal like any other. I'm no demigod.
But they've all died, haven't they? The people you've prosecuted, I mean. Whether or not the trial ended in a conviction or an acquittal.
Those I prosecute are the vilest wretches of our society. People who, without question, deserve to be found guilty. The world is a better place without them. Bro. And after being like, yeah, Harebrain's my friend, but I'm still gonna prosecute them. And then you say this stuff. But it's not all true of Mr. Natsume, for example. He wasn't a vile wretch at all.
Nor was Ginny. In fact, she's ever so hardworking now.
Oh good, Ginny's still around. I can't deny that, since I encountered you. Things have taken a turn. But the point is this. If any of those vile wretches escaped justice subsequently died in mysterious circumstances, it was at the hand of their own kind. It's not my work. Lord Strawheart said the same. He believes you're not involved in any way.
But you were attacked by those ruffians because they believe it's true.
The fact is, since people started to call me the Reaper of the Bailey, the number of serious crimes in Capital has dropped substantially. Oh. So this is like... this is like an All Might scenario. Where it's like... Cause if you watch My Hero Academia, right? Because All Might scenario was like, oh, he's like, quote, the symbol of peace. And because he, just by existing, right? Crime drops because they know, oh, you know, there's All Might. You know, he can always take care of any sort of criminal. So if I were to try to do this and become a criminal, then I'm gonna have a very bad time, right? So it's the same idea here. It's like where, oh, crime goes down because all the people who are criminals are like, damn, I don't want to be in trial and have Van Zeeks be the prosecutor. Right? And then who's... Right, but it can't all just be coincidence, so what... Maybe, okay. Wild guess, it's Lord Strongheart Lord Strongheart's the one who's killing people as the Reaper. That's the guess. Oh, I know, like in My Hero Academia. It would appear that even the most hardened criminals can be made fearful for their lives. Do you mean to say... I mean to say that if my pseudonym serves as a useful purpose, I adopt it gladly, and with honor. But it's putting you in danger. You could be killed. If that is my fate, let God decide. Oh. Lord Van Zeeks. Hey, look at this. Lord Van Zeeks, about the article in this paper. Oh yes, seems there was a reporter nearby when that little skirmish took place. I had no idea I'd been photographed. It was careless of me.
It looks as though it's taking after the people who attacked you had run away, though.
Rest assured, the police have already apprehended every last one of them. But there's someone else fighting alongside you, it seems. Yeah, the cult man sitting at the desk. I think it's the same man who's sitting over there as we speak, isn't it? As I mentioned already, he's my apprentice. Perhaps you can tell us a little bit more about him? Oh. Oh! He's in my tutelage to become a prosecutor. So you could say he's my apprentice, I suppose.
Ah, like you are to Hurley then, Runa.
I don't remember taking an apprenticeship with a great detective. It's not- what? Ryunosuke's not trying to be a detective, though. He's currently compiling a report about last night's attack. Looks like he's wearing some kind of mask? On Lord Strongheart's orders. Nobody knows the man's face, or indeed his identity. Was shady as fuck. But why would you agree to take on such a clearly suspicious individual? Wow. Lord Strongheart's orders again. He's not one for meaningless follies. There will be a good reason for his actions. I hope you're right. Oh god. Ah. This task complete? Good. In that case, you can collate all briefs. Nice to meet you. Caca. Sorry. The mask is just the mask is very strange. Back to work again. That was really strange though. Never met the man before. I didn't even know he existed, and yet somehow it didn't feel like our first encounter. Don't bother trying to converse with him. He says nothing to anybody outside this office. Lord Strawheart has strictly forbidden it. He talks in sign language. In Morse code. Beep 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 beep. Oh, I see. Why are you so interested in my apprentice anyway? Hmm? Oh, no, I mean... Sorry, I didn't mean to... The way he stood there so casually, yet with that flawless posture. It couldn't be. I see, okay. I see. I see. Hmm. I'm like debating like, should I say anything? Or not? Just let Ryunosuke figure it out himself. Yeah. Yeah. Though they're making it kind of obvious. Oh yes, there's something I've been meaning to ask you. Oh, what's that? That Nipponese man. Is he faring well? Sorry? The one arrested twice in succession 6 months ago. With the stoop, and the mustache, and the jitters. Ah, Mr. Natsume, you mean?
I'm not sure he'd be very pleased to find out you identified him from that list right now.
He's fine, thank you. In fact, I received a letter from him by international post only the other day. I see. Well, I think we can end our discussion there, don't you? There's little time left before tomorrow's trial. I advise you spend it investigating the case. Yeah, thank you for your advice. Thank you for the advice, and for the conversation. I can't believe he's asking after Sotsuki-san. After a Nipponese. I'm not sure whether to feel happy about that or worried. He's probably thinking about the whole Reaper curse, right? Since Sotsuki, like, left the country, he's like, oh, did it still work?
I never imagined that Mr. Reaper would be friends with a mad scientist, did you? That's a turn up for the Bucks.
Mad scientist? Oh, you mean Professor Hairbrain? Yeah, it might be worth quizzing the professor about his relationship with Lord Van Zeeks, I think. Okay. I want to look around. Especially this. Look at that fine collection of hallowed chalices and bottles neatly lined up there. My hollowed bottles are filled with the essence of the finest grapes from the finest vineyards I visit. And you waste so much of it. And I personally oversee these chalices being made by the finest crystal craftsmen in the world. Yet you break so many of them.
And yet you stir them around in court like they were worthless.
Wow, Iris, shake hands. Yes, because this imbecile is so imaginably and repeatedly wide of the mark sometimes. What? You're blaming it on us? Bro, just keep your temper in check. Before you open your mouth next time, you should consider the poor artisans whose work you defile. So, it's my fault. Silly me. How could I ever have thought otherwise? Oh my god. Oh. And a chessboard, of course, because every cool prosecutor guy has to have a chessboard. Or the desk. Lord Van Zeek's desk. Look, it's so stylish. I just imagine Van Zeek's just like standing like on the side of the room, and then like Ryunosuke and Iris just running around. It's like, wow, look at that! Oh, look at that! It's like, when will they leave?
And that's a marble chess set next beside it.
Chess. That's the Western version of our Japanese shogi game, isn't it? You know, I'm actually quite good at shogi problems.
Oh, really? You'd probably like chess problems in that case.
I'd love to challenge Lord Van Zeek sometime. To a bout of shogi problems.
If you only really want to challenge yourself, you can always do that on your own at home.
Anything else? The chair. The candles. This giant... Yeah, what is this? Huge ass painting. I can't see a face. That portrait really dominates the room, doesn't it? Oh, what the? It's a very majestic outfit and pose. But sadly, whoever painted it didn't do a very good job of capturing Lord Van Zeek's facial features. What do you mean? Does he look different? Like a little bit? Oh.
Yes, you're right. I mean, it's not far out, but the artist has exaggerated his subject's handsomeness, I think.
Oh, that reminds me. I heard Emperor Napoleon of France ordered artists to make him look more attractive when they painted him. Oh, Van Zeeks, do you have self-esteem issues? Oh, no. No, he's probably just younger when it was painted. Come on, guys.
How vain. That's really not an attractive quality in a person, isn't it?
That portrait does not depict me. Surely, that's immediately obvious. Really? Are you sure? Oh, then who is it? Well, thanks for answering our question. Oh, wait, it's a bat. It's a bat. Hello? Hello? Whoa, they were bats!
Yeah, the Reaper's familiars, I expect.
But what about the mute man in the dark cloak? I thought he was the familiar. Just not the flying kind.
He must be a dear friend of Mr. Reaper then.
I think the familiar idea is more likely. Scary though, either way. This miniature model of the Great Exhibition?
Oh look, it's a scale model of the Great Exhibition's showground.
That's amazing. I wonder why it's here.
Perhaps he made it to take his mind off the sadness of being too busy to attend in person?
Or perhaps he's too embarrassed to queue up for a ticket. Surely it's obvious I'm using it as an investigative aid.
Ah.
You Nipponese have no business painting others as overly reserved. Ugh, I really didn't think he'd overhear that. They're not dolls. Okay, I don't see anything else here. Can we... Hello, suspicious bird man. It really looks like a punishment to me. Yeah. Like, he gets the floor desk and he's facing the wall.
I've never seen someone sitting like that before.
He hasn't moved a muscle since we arrived. Do you think perhaps he's dead? Bro, Ryunosuke.
If he was dead, Ryuna, he wouldn't be sitting up, would he?
Well, anyway, dead or alive, he's not overly approachable, is he? I don't think he's gonna talk to us.
He's not dead.
She's Schrodinger's person. I don't know. Look at all those ancient casks lining the wall there.
Casks in the Reaper's chamber. Or are they caskets?
You don't think all those people who escaped conviction in court are lying inside them dead, do you? Iris' very slow transition to the shocked face is so funny. What ridiculous notions are going through your head, man? This is my collection of fine vintages. Oh, yeah, of course. Thank you for clearing that up. So when you say grapes, do you mean like actual grapes, or is the chalice filled with something else?
Ryuna and I were just musing to ourselves. Don't mind us, Mr. Reaper.
I wouldn't, if you hadn't invited yourselves to my office to talk nonsense within my earshot. Okay. I think that's it. So there wasn't anything else here. What is this thing? It looks like a bird. Oh wait. I see it now. It's... well, actually I don't see it. I have no idea what this is. Okay, I guess we'll go. See you later, Fanzeeks.
This room is so dark. Mr. Reaper's eyesight will suffer terribly if he's not careful.
Yeah, he works in backlight too. Awful. Okay. Hello again. The Reaper's varsity years. I understand Lord Van Zeeks is a friend of yours from your university days?
Yes, that's right.
It's not the voice.
He was studying law whilst I was studying science.
What was he like back then?
A good question. Unassuming, gentlemanly, and all-around nice fellow, really.
Have you seen the guy? I'm sorry, I think you misheard me. I'm talking about the cold-hearted, merciless prosecutor, Barak von Zeeks. Van Zeeks? What was he like when he was at university?
Talk about a leading question, Runa.
As I said, an unassuming and extremely pleasant gentleman. After all, he is the little darling of the little darling. He is the little darling of the Van Zeeks family, with all its great aristocratic origins.
I didn't realize he had such noble blood. Well, I didn't realize he has quite such noble blood.
Come on, Iris. Like, look at what he's wearing. Little darling. It was a bit of shock when I came back to Britain and learned about what he became. Reaper of the Bailey, no less. Yeah, that's right. Well, I did hear, though, that there was a very big event in his life that completely changed him after graduation. Really? What sort of event? I'm sorry. But I don't know anymore. I wasn't in the country at the time. I was in Germany already. Oh, yeah, of course. If he's heard all about the Reaper, I really don't have the heart to tell him that Lord Van Zeeks will be prosecuted in court tomorrow. So, Professor, let me just make absolutely sure I've misunderstood you properly. The huge explosion that occurred yesterday, that was an accident, you're saying? You had no intent to harm the victim, who was, in fact, the sole investor in your work. Is that correct? As correct as 2 squared is 4, I swear it. Yes, it's true that the man perished in the machine of my invention. So I know I'm far from blameless in all this, but still, I would never use my discoveries, my inventions, to take a person's life, not in a centillion years. I'm a man of science, that's all I know. You have to believe me, please. Do you believe me? Do you believe in my hypothesis? Science is the pursuit of truth, you know? I've always believed that, all my life. I'm afraid I don't know much about science, or your theories. But I do believe you, and I will fight to prove your innocence with all my might. I'm a man of law, it's all I know. You have to believe me, please. You know, Skate. Oh my god. When I went to live in Germany after I graduated, I learned something very important. Nationality, class, lineage, none of that matters. As long as you try your hardest, you can achieve anything. Sounds like the American dream. Thank you for that, Professor. And thank you in advance for defending me tomorrow in court.
Alright, Runa. It's time. Time to visit the Great Exhibition.
Sorry?
Well, that's where the incident happened, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose that's true. Time to investigate at last. Okay. Experimentation stage. I shook my head too much, now I'm dizzy. Oh! Wow, the topiary is cut very neatly. Holy shit. 22nd October, Great Exhibition Grounds, foot of the Crystal Tower. Ugh, the showgrounds are a little too big for my liking. We've been walking around in dense crowds for 2 hours now, and I've felt myself swooning 3 times. You know, that's what you get for wearing all black.
There are a lot of people, aren't there? It's almost been trodden. I've almost been trodden on 3 times too.
Be careful, won't you, Iris? Don't let go of my hand. We finally made it through the thrones, though, by the look of it. Here we are underneath the public experimentation stage, where the explosion happened yesterday. Ooh. Huh? What? What's that? You hear voices from up on the stage. It sounds like an argument.
Huh? What?
What? Oh, what? Oh my god, Gina! And Gregson. But Gina!
Right, I've had it with you this time. I'm warning you. I'll arrest you in a minute. Oh yeah? Go on, Inspector. Give it a shot. You ain't got no evidence and you know it.
Wait, I know those voices.
You've got a cheeky little mouth on you, young lady, but a night in the cells will teach you some manners. Just try it, I dare you. If you want that bag of chips rammed down your throat. Oh, I can talk. Yoo-hoo! Grexy, what are you doing up there?
Oh! Oh! It's you here, you here, you here, your ladyship! How are you, your ladyship? I do hope you're well, your ladyship. Does that make her 3 times a lady?
I'm not well at all. It's far too busy everywhere. I wanted to ride in a balloon, but there was a 3-hour queue.
Unbelievable! I'll go and have a word for you at once, your ladyship. You'll be flying as high as a kite in no time, once I pull some strings for you. It's Pius Gregson, an inspector at Scotland Yard. Until recently, he was suspended from duty, but it would appear he's back in action now. Oh, good. He's actually quite well known, appearing as he does in the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. And for that reason, he can't say a word wrong to the story's author, Iris. But there are limits, surely? Or there should be.
Oh, watch it, sunshine!
Sorry.
What gives then? Don't tell me you're on this case.
Yeah, I'm actually acting for the defense.
So, we're here to investigate.
Oops. Sorry. Oh!
Dear me, that's the situation, is it?
Is it really that troubling?
Really, measly 5 bob, is that all you got?
Yeah, it's Gina! Oh, and she has a new, like, coat. Right? Yeah. What? Oh, she looks so good. Gina! Gina!
You're a lawyer, ain't ya? You could stand to carry a bit more copper around in your pockets, Mr. Naruto.
What? Hey, that's my last bit of spending money, that is. I needed to go on a balloon.
You can have it back, but I'll have to charge you for the bother. 3 bob.
Charge me? For what? This is Gina Lestrade, a pickpocket or diver, born and bred in the East End of London. In the case that led. Oh my god. Sorry. In the case that led to my own suspension 6 months ago. This is the young girl I was defending in court.
What's your problem, Otto? Diver? Pickpocket? What's with all the name calling? You want a bag of chips rammed down your throat and all, do you? Do ya?
I thought you were proud to be a diver, Gina? And you were just arguing with Inspector Gregson about it, weren't you? I assumed you'd been up to your usual tricks here at the showground.
That ain't no way to talk to a lady, Odo. After a year is a long time. People can change. I'm an apprentice now, learning to be a Scotland Yard detective. She is trying to be a detective! Oh my god. So you have to call me what everyone else does. It's Inspector Lestrade now.
Oh my god! Whoa! Inspector! That badge is homemade, surely.
The inspector part isn't entirely accurate. No one calls it that. For what it's worth, anyway. Investigating is off the cards for all of us. What's that supposed to mean? Right, well, I'll be back up top. You hold the fort down here, alright? Right, sir.
This raises a lot of questions! Time to add, but first, This armband is proof, in Japan at least, that I'm a defense lawyer.
And this badge is proof that I'm a detective. So you're all gonna have to stop calling me Inspector Lestrade.
In that case, you'll have to start calling me anything but Odo.
I could call you Defender Nara Odo if you like, but it doesn't really trip off the tongue.
No, it doesn't have a great ring to it, does it? Okay. Yeah! It was 8 months ago now that I first encountered Gina, in connection with a case I was working on. At the time, she was living in East End with a group of other orphans. She helped all of them survive by pickpocketing, but then she got embroiled in murder.
I had a long time to think in prison. I realized that I couldn't go on like I was. The diving weren't working out. Oh, I'm so pleased to hear it, Ginny. Well done.
So you went from being a pickpocket to a detective?
You got it. Good, isn't it? Inspector Lestrade. Sounds like something out of a book, eh?
Talk about a sea change.
And then there's Iris's own man to think about.
Iris's father, you mean?
Yeah, I promised her, didn't I? I'd say I get all the police forces around the world to pull out all the stops looking for him.
Just a small promise then, nothing serious. Oh no!
Oh, Ginny, you're so sweet. So anyway, that's how I had to go at the test for Scotland Yard. Only trouble is, I don't read so well, do I?
Just a small problem, nothing serious.
And that's when Hurley approached Grexy and asked for help. So the inspector said he'd take full responsibility for Ginny and made her a sort of apprentice.
Oh, we're all talking about apprentices today. That was very magnanimous of Inspector Gregson, and brave.
Well, you know Hurley. He enjoys finding ways to make people do what he wants.
The great detective likes digging for dirt, in other words.
So the long and short of it is, you got serious questions about the case, you can ask Inspector Lestrade.
Right then, Inspector. Actually, there's a big mystery surrounding Gina, isn't there? Is there?
Ooh, what, Reno, what?
Well, 6 months ago, Gina was the defendant in a trial prosecuted by the Reaper. Oh, and she's still alive and kicking. A trial in which she was found not guilty, and yet here she is still...
Come on, you're still not on about that, are you? The Legend of the Reaper is, or whatever it's called. Coy, you don't have worry. You don't, what? Coy, yeah, don't have worry, Odo.
I can't talk. It's so hard to read Gina's lines. If I didn't half worry, then there probably wouldn't be a whole lot of you left. Oh, good one, Ryunosuke.
As I told you before, isn't it? Reaper's kind of like, I'm upstairs, so he's the Reaper's kind of like, I'm upstairs. So, I'm upstairs. Oh, the Reaper's kind of like, I'm upstairs, so he knows what I'm like on the inside. I ain't really done nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong might be stretching the point.
What about Mr. Natsume in Japan? He's perfectly fine, isn't he?
Well, that's true. Perhaps the Reaper is more discerning than I thought. He's perfectly fine, isn't he? Yeah, because he got acquitted twice, so it cancels it out. No.
Exactly, so I ain't worried. I'm totally fine. I'm totally fine. Totally fine. Totally fine. Cool. It was out of this world, it was. That brainy bloke pulled a bunch of the levers on his machine, and suddenly it started blowing smoke. Then it just went pop. I ain't seen a better experiment here yet.
Sorry?
You mean you saw it, Ginny? With your own eyes? Yeah, of course. The boss is in charge here, ain't he? Of keeping everything running smooth, I mean.
The boss being Inspector Gregson, I suppose. That's gonna take some getting used to.
So all I have to say is that I'm on duty and I can do whatever I want to. Get this, I was up in one of them flying balloons when it happened, watching it from above. No, you're so lucky, Jenny. Maybe I should join Scotland Yard too. Yeah, do it. You know how to put the boss in his place already, right, Iris? You have no trouble at all. Then it's settled, but when do I start?
No, you can't join Scotland Yard, Iris.
Well, we'll see. Anyway, what I don't understand is this. If the machine exploded so spectacularly, how can Professor Bunnybrain still be claiming that his experiment was a success? Oh, right. Well, it was a success in a way.
It was? How can it have been? Did he actually move places then? But like when you found the guy, he was not alive. Surely after the whole machine blew up, no one could call the experiment a success. It's like I said, it did sort of work. I mean, yeah, there was a lot of smoke and all that whooping great bang.
But where do you think they found the victim's body, eh? In the crystal tower over there.
What? In the tower?
You can see for yourself. You can see for yourself, can't you? Up there above the scaffold.
Oh, where all the glass is broken, you mean?
Yeah, the cage what the victim got in to start with. Really did get beamed through the air or whatever and landed all the way over there. So, you see? It did kind of work, didn't it?
What? I don't believe it.
I mean, I didn't get the ins and outs of it, but anything's possible, right? With science. Oh, I tell you what. You can have this. It's a plan of the experiment they drew up at the yard.
Are you sure?
Yeah, go on. I had three bob off yet before, so fair.
Yes, I didn't actually give that to you, did I? Diagram showing the relative positions of them. Okay. About the investigation. Something Inspector Gregson said before seemed a little strange. What is worth anyway? Investigating is off the cards for all of us. Right.
Yes, naughty old Grexy ran off after that without explaining himself.
Oh right, that.
The boss said no one's allowed to investigate that weird machine what blew up yesterday. But that's not fair. We're representing the defendant.
In that case, could you at least tell us what you've learned from your investigations?
Nah, you're not getting it. We're not allowed to investigate either.
Why?
What did the boss call them again? The forensic investigation team, I think? Anyway, apart from them lot, no one's allowed to lay a finger on the scene. Bit funny, innit?
So even Scotland Yard's own detectives can't investigate. Yes, I've never heard something like that before.
I thought I could have a gander at the quiet though, but the boss caught me at it.
Oh, so that's probably the argument from before.
You probably heard him giving me an earful about it before from down here, didn't you?
Yeah.
It's not being fair.
I think you were giving him as much of an earful back as I remember it.
Yeah, well, sometimes I think all them chips what make him so stubborn. You say something to him, Otto. Go on, see if you can get through to him.
He's up on the platform above us, is he? Where the machine that exploded is.
We can try, can't we, Rena? Grexy will listen to us.
Okay, bye, Gina. I can't say your lines properly, as usual. Oh, wait. Newspaper? Oh, never mind. Gina, would you look at— oh, where'd you go?
Hehe, looking for this, Otto?
When'd you do that?
I wonder if you got anything else to show me, eh? What do you reckon?
Give that back first, please. Is this the same? Yeah, okay. I like our new, like hands on hips, smiling expression. That's good. It's cute. Oh. I can go up. Okay, what's this in the background? This caught my eye before.
Ah, looks like somebody dropped something from behind the tree just here.
Dropped or hid? What is this? Some part of the machine that exploded?
Maybe. It could have fallen from the platform above in the blast, perhaps. What's going on here?
Oh, nothing. I think I'll hang on to this, just in case. Mysterious contraption. Very curious device found behind a tree under an experimentation stage. Almost as if it has been hidden there deliberately. Okay. What? For some reason, the ground is damaged in this spot. Almost as if there was a fire here or something.
Yes, if you look closely, there's some scattered ash and burnt embers too.
Well, I suppose there's a big explosion just above here. People probably wouldn't bat an eyelid at a small fire like this. Like this would have been. At a small... yeah, yes.
I'm not sure if we English are quite that laid back, Bruno.
What about this green cloth?
Oh look, what's this? A ripped piece of cloth.
It's not like any fabric I've seen before. Green. It's very thick and stiff. It looks extremely durable. Oh, is this from a balloon then?
It's canvas, I think, with some sort of rubber backing. And the edges appear to be a bit charred as well.
Maybe that means it had something to do with the explosion.
Let's make a note of it while Jeannie's mid-yawn.
Torn piece of green cloth. Okay. What about the guards? Oh. The door? The tower. Crystal Tower. It's certainly an apt name. It was built to be the focal point for the exhibition, and it definitely is, being so tall and with all that glass. I can't imagine a building like this ever being erected in Japan. Well, eventually.
There are lots of exhibits inside the tower as well, apparently. Of course, there's an observation deck, but there's also an art gallery, a zoo, and a museum.
There's a zoo in there?
But I heard you had to queue up for 3 hours just to get through the doors.
Well, at the moment, the shattered glass from the failed experiment may well be the biggest draw.
And thanks to that accident, the whole tower is shut.
Surely it's not the Crystal Tower anymore, but the Crystal Glass Shower. Har har.
Apparently, everyone's taken to the skies to look down on the disaster area from above instead. But there's a 3-hour queue to go up in the balloon now.
Londoners must be very patient people. Okay. Oh. This thing? This platform must have been set up for the experiment, I suppose. It's very high up.
About 30 feet above the ground, apparently. That's what a policeman I just spoke to said.
I don't really understand feet very well. We don't use them in Japan, right?
Oh yes, sorry. It's about 9 meters. But soon you have to be in London for a year, Runo. It's time you get used to our regiments.
Actually, no, Ryunosuke, don't do it. Stick to metric. They'll change around. Yeah, well... This thing is so tall, the spectators at the front would just have seen a wall and nothing else.
They probably thought they'd secure the best spot to watch from, only to be disappointed.
As the saying in Japan, the darkest spot is right under the lighthouse. I feel like it probably applies here. Oh, is there more here? These stairs obviously lead to the stage above. We should go up there and investigate the exact spot where the experiment was being conducted. Oh, okay, we can do that. 27 October. Oh wow. It's still buzzing. So that's it. Is it the machine that blew up?
Oh, it must have been a magnificent explosion. And I've seen my fair share.
You've seen things like this before, you mean?
Of course, Hurley's always seen experiments that end in a bang. In fact, in his own words, explosions are the very essence of chemistry.
That might explain the smell of burning that frequently comes wafting up the stairs.
One time he made something that exploded with such a force, it took the roof off the building. I wish you'd been there to see it, Bruno.
Iris? It's hard to get too excited about that, given that I now live in the roof.
Well, anyway, that's enough about that. It's time to investigate.
Ah, Gregson. Oh look, Inspector Gregson is over there. Seems to be deep in thought about something, whilst eyeing up the machine carefully.
Really? He just looks confused to me.
It ripped itself apart magnificently, didn't it?
Magnificently. And mercilessly.
So someone stands in the middle of the machine to be disassembled and then beamed through the air?
Yep, beamed. Not blasted. That's the point.
Yes, that part's crucial, really. Is something like that even possible though, Iris?
Oh, Bruno. I'm just a child. How should I know?
A child when it suits you, you mean?
From what I can tell, I think if you were to bow...
What? Stop! Don't touch that!
That was practically instantaneous kinesis the way you flew over just now, Grexy.
Oh, please, your ladyship. I didn't mean to startle you, but I can't let you touch anything up here.
So sorry, you can have some of my latest special blend to make up for it.
I think Iris's voice is dying. I'm sorry. Go, 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 go. Oh, wonderful. This stuff really is wonderful. It's just like old times, this is. We're representing Professor Harebrain in court tomorrow, Inspector. So we should be allowed to examine the scene. Oh, listen, Sunshine. Even I'm not allowed to touch anything up here. That blasted special dispensation for scientific equipment act is to blame. It's driving me potty. Oh yeah, that special dispensation. Professor mentioned that too. More red tape is all we need. I don't know what the government thinks it. I don't know what the government thinks is playing at sometimes.
But we're allowed to just look, aren't we? Surely that's alright, isn't it, Grexy?
Of course, your ladyship. Anything you say, your ladyship. Please don't get your dainty hands dirty, will you? Oh my god.
Don't worry. We wouldn't dream of touching anything, would we, Runo?
She really knows how to get what she wants. Hey, check this out. This is the symbol of a defense toy from where I come from, Inspector. I've shown you this many times. Well, it doesn't pass muster here in London. You might as well chuck it in the deep fat fryer. No one's ever said that to me before. Mr. Shum suggested I feed it to a dog, though. If you fry it first, you can feed it to me. Does he think it's made of potato? Is Gregson gonna be okay? Okay. Using high voltage electricity to somehow disassemble a man's body, and then beam him across to the crystal tower. It's an extraordinary thing to attempt, especially in public. True. It was by far the most unusual of the experiments planned for the exhibition, mind. To be honest, I'm a bit surprised it was allowed. Carrying out something so dangerous with so many spectators present, I mean. The government's doing everything it can to promote new science and technology at the moment. They're more worried about being ahead of the game than the onslaught of public safety infringements. If they can be the first to develop some new technology, it makes Britain more powerful in the future, you see? Yeah, I suppose that's true in a way. So the powers that be are placing a heavy emphasis on scientists' rights at the moment.
What sort of rights?
They're making it so that any theories the brains have remain their legal property, as it were. Right through development into the practical idea and even going into production.
Which is the infuriating reasons us coppers aren't allowed to touch this crime scene. Because of the new High Fulton Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act forbids it.
Ah, I see now. That name is very long. Can we shorten it to anything? SBSC. Oh. SDC. SDSEA. I see now.
Only people with permission to investigate here are from some brand new department at the yard. The Forensic Investigation Team, it's called. We've been relegated to keeping guard.
Forensic Investigation Team.
Any old fool can see that this heap of scrap metal was a sham to begin with. But just because it says scientific equipment on paperwork, we can't do a flaming thing about it with it. Poor Grexy, he's very head up, isn't he?
Okay, so that's probably what's protecting Hairbrain then. Because Hairbrain was scared that because they labeled it as a murder, they'll be able to like investigate his machine and steal his idea, right? Special dispensation. Remind me again, what's this new legal act that means we're not allowed to touch the scene here?
Are you having me out at Sunshine? It's the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act. Yes. I think Charlie mentioned that recently. With a real twinkle in his eye, as I remember. I'm sure he did, my leadership, I'm sure he did. Passed especially for this great exhibition it was. All scientists have to do is present their ideas or inventions to some suits in the civil service, and if it gets rubber stamped, that's a guarantee of rights to maintain the inventor's confidentiality.
What does that really mean?
Think about it. Think of all the words-changing new inventions on display every day at this exhibition. Although a good half of them are a load of cobblers, if you ask me, put forward by shammers like yourself.
Wow, ouch. Thanks for that.
Oh, I love how absurd some of the new inventions here are. It's all so fun. It might be fun to you, but a member of the force has to be present at every single demonstration. Can you imagine, eh? Plain signs, that's what I say. Oh, I don't think so. That sounds like my dream job.
You soon think otherwise after spending the day guarding all these shammers bogus contraptions. But if they're all bogus, how can anyone hope to demonstrate them? There'd be no point.
Yeah, well, there is a point, sadly.
Sorry?
Thanks to another one of our government's bright ideas. If any theory or invention is deemed to show potential, government hands out a research grant.
Oh. The scientists get funding?
Exactly. And that's what they're all after. All these shammers coming from far and wide to clog up Hyde Park. And who has to keep one wall safe? Who has to smile politely and welcome us? Us coppers, that's who. So you can see why I say it now, can't you? Hang signs, hang it! Oh. Maybe I can see your point.
Apparently Professor Hairbrain lives and works in Germany now, conducting his research.
That's right. Came back to Britain especially for the Great Exhibition, I understand it. Probably after one of the government's research grants.
Actually, we learned something else about the professor earlier today. About his time in further education. Turns out he was at a university... You're not scared, you're stuck on this fact, right? Turns out he was at a university with someone we both know. Lord Van Zeeks. Oh, what's that? That's news to me. What? Wow, we're just gossiping around, aren't we?
Did you hear? Oh my god. Hairbrain's actually an old classmate of Lord Van Zeeks. Oh my god, really? But if Van Zeeks mans the prosecution, then as the accused, the professor's fate is
sealed? Because the Reaper will get him one way or another?
Blimey, that man's beyond me. I didn't know what goes on in that head of his. Welcome to Van Zeeks. This morning's paper ran the story from being attacked. Read that? Oh yes, but Mr. Reaper is completely fine. Nothing to worry about.
Yes, right. Glad to hear it. Still, the Reaper, huh?
How how long's that business gonna keep up, I wonder?
How long? The victim of this case, the investor, Mr. Assman, he was another one of the Reaper's victims, or so I heard.
Lord Barak von Zeeks is a top-class prosecutor, but even he can't always push for the right verdict though. Sometimes justice can't win.
Yeah, I've heard about jurors being bribed and evidence being falsified. And that's how the notion of the Reaper the Bailey came about, isn't it?
Obviously, Scotland Yard suspected Van Zeeks initially. We all assumed he was taking matters into his own hands if he failed to seal the deal in court.
Although the man himself denies that charge.
Well, we've done a very thorough investigation, and the conclusion we've reached is that Lord Van Zeeks is in no way related to the deaths of those people outside the courtroom. There's no question in my mind. I'd stake my reputation on it, I would.
But if that's true, then how do you explain it? All those defendants couldn't have just coincidentally died if nobody killed them.
I know that, but I can't explain it. It's a mystery after all, isn't it? That's the whole point of the Reaper.
Damn. Professor Harebrain mentioned something else. He said that at university, Lord Van Zeeks was a total different person. Easygoing and kind.
You what?
He said that it was after they both graduated that something happened to change the man. Do you have any idea what it was?
No clue.
Really? Are you sure?
Look, I've got my hands full watching over this frustrating crime scene. Why don't you go and make a nuisance of yourselves elsewhere, eh?
Oh, he just told us to get. Inspector, have you read this paper?
Yes, I just told you about it. Yeah, 2 unwelcome blasts back to back. There's one at the exhibition, and the Reaper getting attacked. And also, there was that lost cat!
I know, terrible news to wake up to, wasn't it?
I tried to pretend I hadn't read it, and turned it over for 40 weeks. For another 40 weeks. Thanks to that, I was laid up and got a roasting from the super.
Some mornings are like that, aren't they? Oh, okay. And then it was supposed to land. It was supposed to land here? Then? Because it's aimed very high. It's aimed up here. What is this? Can you even inspect anything? Oh. There's some sort of lever here. It's a crossbow? What's this? It looks like a cross between a bow and a gun. I think it's probably used for the same thing too. Oh shit. It's a crossbow. Looks like you wind this around in order to draw the bowstring back and create tension. You must be able to fire arrows with a huge amount of force using this device then. In fact, I would imagine it's far more accurate and powerful than a Japanese longbow. Oh, I really had no idea what I was picking up when I spotted this at the exhibition grounds. Oh my god. So it's a crossbow. Oh. Wait. This groove here must be where the arrows are loaded, I suppose. So I was right. It was a sort of bow with an automatic firing mechanism. That would be perfect for someone like me who catches his ear with the bowstring 2 times out of 3. Yunosuke. In fact, if I'd had one of these, maybe I could have been in Cosmo and Kyoto archery training. That's called cheating, Yunosuke. Green cloth. Indeed it is. Looks like layers of thick canvas and a thick rubber lining of sorts. I've never seen anything like it before. but apply Mr. Shone's methods. You might deduce it was part of a raincoat worn by someone who really didn't want to get it wet. And the charring must have occurred when the person was struck by lightning! Or maybe not. Okay. Let's look around here. What is this? Wait. This thing? Seeing how badly damaged everything is, Professor Hairbrain was lucky to escape unscathed, I think. I'd say. We should have a good look around the machine while we can, I think. Touch anything and I'll make sure I'll kill you before I get struck myself, you hear? I won't touch a thing, I promise. So please spare a thought for your digestion. Anyway, do you really think this machine could actually disassemble people like the professor claims? He asks, looking totally incredulous. Give it a rest, sunshine. If we were allowed to examine all this bleeding scrap metal, maybe we could answer that question. But we can't, can we?
Because of the annoying rules, you mean?
Exactly! The annoying, obstructive, flaming rules! Oh, look at the base of the machine here.
Oh yeah, there's a tool of some kind poking through the wire mesh.
It's a screwdriver, I think? Why does your screwdriver look like... Why does it have an A at the end?
Oh, isn't it a lovely one? The handle's in the shape of the capital letter A.
Wait, that was on purpose. It is? Oh, yeah, you're right. What's the matter with you? I don't shut... Don't touch anything, I said. Touch anything, I'll make sure you'll kill you before I said... Yes, yeah, I understand, sorry. I only touched a teensy-weensy bit.
But Greg, see, I'm very curious about the screwdriver. Really, very curious.
Gregson, your job, your life, everything. Nope. Of course, your ladyship, you're so clever, your ladyship, fancy spotting something like this. But I'm afraid I can't let you have it.
But Runa found it first.
I assure you, I'll investigate it thoroughly. Okay. It's gone off with it. What? I thought we weren't supposed to... What? What?
That was very mean. I'm afraid Inspector Gregson is gonna make a very clumsy and embarrassing mistake in next month's installment now.
Oh no. Poor Gregsy. Oh no, Gregsy. Means we can look around better now? Here? There are all sorts of strange buildings here in the Great Exhibition Grounds, aren't there? Yeah, looks very familiar. I seem to remember something similar being exhibited in Japan one time.
Oh, in your country, Runa? I do wish I could go and see it. I present a particularly steely samurai with a present of one of Hurley's stories I've written especially. And see if I couldn't get Hurley into a jam against some Bartitsu master ninjas.
You might not find as many of those sorts of people around as you think.
Oh, well, that's still...
Oh, but I do know a prosecutor with a Chomake top knot I can introduce you to. Yunosuke, he doesn't have the top knot anymore. You should know this.
A Chomage? Really? Do you think I could have my picture taken with him? Do you?
Assuming he's recovered from the trim Kazuma gave him a year ago, yes. No. The answer is no. It got worse. The trim got worse. What is that gigantic thing over there? It's like an enormous water wheel.
Oh, I think that's a Ferris wheel. There would be people riding inside those little cabins you see.
Why?
Well, they rotate nice and slowly, so it's a wonderful way to see the surrounding scenery.
Wait, it's turning? But it looks completely still. You sure, Yunosuke? Come on.
Yeah, that's because it's turning so slowly. One complete revolution takes about half an hour.
If you were mad enough to go in one, it would be more fun to whiz around fast. Don't you think?
I feel as though you might have just invented a new sort of ride there, Runa.
Damn it. I can do this? What is this? Considering how badly damaged everything is, Professor Hairbrain was lucky to escape unscathed, I say. We should have a good look around the machine while we can, I think. Wait, I thought you left, Gregson! Didn't you leave? Gregson! I won't touch a thing, I promise, so please, blah blah blah. Okay. I guess this is the same. Oh no. The amazing horn-shaped device is pointing towards the crystal tower. So once people are disassembled by the machine, they're shot out of that thing to wherever they're going.
I don't think you're supposed to shoot anything, Runa. It was set up to beam people to the crystal tower, where they've been reconstructed in their original form.
Well, I don't like the look of it. If it was as amazing as it looks, the accident wouldn't have happened in the first place, of course.
I suppose that's true, yes.
But nothing ever goes according to the plan, does it? Oh. So those are people carrying balloons, dangling silently in the skies over London. I always thought the day would come when humans would discover how to fly. But I never imagined it would involve them being suspended from colorful floating Tamari handballs.
I'm sure it must feel amazing being up there among the clouds. Let's make a ride together, Runa, please!
If I'm being perfectly honest, I would like to try it. But without a cast iron guarantee that the thing won't plummet to the ground, I'm too scared.
Oh well, in that case, I should tell you what Hurley said. It's physically impossible for a flying balloon to plummet to the ground, as long as it doesn't explode.
Yeah, call me crazy, but I think that exploding part might play on my mind a little. Oh my god. Okay. What? I guess that's it. Oh wait, he's still here. Oh no, she said look around here more. Wait. Wait, huh?
Huh? What?
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 What am I tinkering around? Does Gregson have more to say? No? How do I go back down? Where's the stairs? How do I go back down? Iris! Iris, I need help. I need help, Iris. If I move here, will it work? Okay, what if I go to somewhere else and then I jump back? He's in the back! Hi. How are you doing? No fancies.
I think he's ignoring you, Runa.
The prosecution and defense should avoid speaking outside of the courtroom, as a rule. So, if anyone is being rude here, it's most certainly the man in black. They're standing before us.
Oh, I see. Well, thank you for setting the record straight. Did you see that? He spoke to me.
Alright, so you're a fan? So, Lord Van Zeeks, have you managed to visit the Great Exhibition yet?
He's definitely ignoring you.
Right. No niceties either, then. Okay. Yeah, we're back down. Okay. 'Cause I didn't get a chance to look up because I went up.
That's where the cove ended up. Wait, that's where the cove ended up. After it's...
Oh, wait, no, it's Gina talking. I was like, why is Iris saying cove? Oh, okay.
Oh, that's where the cove ended up after his instant kinesis, or whatever they call it. Dead, of course.
And yet, they're calling this experiment a success?
What's the wooden scaffold there for? The coppers all had set that up after the incident happened. To get the body down, I think. Didn't it really?
Was it stuck in the clock or something? Didn't you help to erect the scaffold then?
Nah, lookout duty's more my thing. Wandering around the exhibition and keeping a lookout for phone stuff.
Mind Gregson doesn't hear you saying that, or he'll give you the boot. It's incredible though, isn't it? I mean, could the victim really have bridged that gap by some sort of invisible kinesis?
Rena, listen!
What is it?
I've been thinking. Curly might know something, mightn't he?
About what?
About Mr. Beeper!
About what happened to Lord Van Zeeks, you mean? Because it sounds like something very significant occurred after he graduated from university. Something that completely changed his life. Maybe, but I have no idea where to find Mr. Sholmes at the moment. He's in the middle of some big case, isn't he?
Here, this is what you need.
Madame Tospels? What? What's this? Some kind of entrance ticket? Madame Tospel. Is this supposed to mean something to me?
You don't know it? It's the most popular attraction in London at the moment. It's very close to Baker Street, actually. We could go right now if you like.
No, we don't have time for visiting the attractions today, Iris. We have a big trial tomorrow.
But that's where Hurley is.
What? At this popular London attraction?
Yeah,
How is it that you know where he is?
yeah, he told me. But he told me to keep it a secret from you, Bruna.
Madame Tuspels. I don't see how this could be related to the case we're investigating here, but then stranger things have happened. And when they happen, Mr. Sholmes is usually at the heart of them. Okay, let's go then. Super high voltage instantaneous kinesis. I'm not super sure about that. Museum of interesting waxwork exhibits. Oh, that's what this is. Okay, I got you. Wax museum. Oh no. 22nd October, Madame Tuspel's Museum of Waxworks. Oh my god. Oh my god. What is this place? Look at all these terrifying scenes, but why are they all the people? Why are all the people so still? Guillotines, ruthless murderers. I know what I'll be dreaming about tonight.
They're all wax models. They're amazingly realistic, aren't they? What do you think, Bruna? Shocked?
Wax models? Ah! I read about the dead bodies and wax ones in the magazine about strange phenomena. Depending on how corpses are crept after death, but parts of them can turn to wax, apparently. It's called a what?
Stop talking about creepy things like that, Bruna. You're scaring me. Anyway, I thought but whatever doesn't form readily, you know?
What now? I just remembered something else I read in another magazine about strange phenomena. There was an old lady, maybe a witch, who used to pour molten wax over corpses and put them on display.
None of the exhibits here are real. They're all entirely man-made replicas.
They can't be. Do you really expect me to believe that? Just look at them.
Oh,
There's no way anyone can make models of people that are this realistic. And they're all such a gruesome scene. Ugh. Wait.
what is it?
Oh, no. I must be seeing things. Wait, there's an arm there. Hello? Hello? Is this an arm?
It looks like an arm, doesn't it? Maybe one of the waxwork models has fallen over.
You don't think it could be the work of one of the mass murderers in here, do you?
Runa, stop scaring me.
It's a wax arm or a real one. Only one way to find out.
Come on, you're always putting that finger of yours in the court. Poke that arm now and see how it feels.
Objection. What? We're not gonna find out? I need to know. What's this? That big heavy curtain is in a very prominent position, isn't it? I have a nasty feeling there's gonna be something truly terrifying behind it.
Oh yeah, that's the famous Tuspel's special exhibit. It depicts one of England's most notorious killers. Do you want to pay the extra fee and have a look?
Pay more money to be even more terrified? Oh, let me think about that for a moment.
It was only a suggestion.
I see. Here's the thing, right? This one and this one, save for the odd fellow on the right over there, look like they're like drawn, right? But this situation here, these are 3D models. So what the heck is up with that? These models are so made, I can't tell what's wax for him, what's a real human.
Or maybe all the exhibits are real people. And when it's closing time and all the visitors have gone home, they suddenly start moving about.
Iris, that's already been made into a movie. Just thinking about it makes me wish it was closing time already and I was on my way home. Do I have to check Sherlock first? No, I refuse. I will look at everything else before Sherlock. Ugh. Is this an example of Western Tsujigiri?
I don't know what that is.
You know, when an unscrupulous samurai randomly attacks a passerby to test his sword.
I still don't know, no. But actually, a waxwork samurai would probably be hugely popular. Could you model it, do you think, Bruno? Doing that Tsujigiri thing you mentioned.
Well, I do have a sword, but I have no intention of testing how sharp it is on a human subject. For now, at least. You're not scared. Is this like... I want to say like Jack the Ripper, but like that's like the go-to English serial killer. Is this some famous, infamous murder?
Yes, called Jane the Ripper.
Oh, never mind. It's Jane the Ripper.
All her victims were young women.
I knew it. You can tell by the way she's holding the knife. Sure sign of a murder.
Well, yeah. What's the matter, Runa?
I've worked it out. I know what she's doing. She's trying to fill that bathtub with blood so she can have a soak in her victim's gore.
Not according to information about the exhibit on the little board here. It doesn't mention anything about the bathtub.
Really?
Sorry, I don't think it's significant. I
still think it has to be there for a reason. Why is the bathtub there? She was killed in the bathroom. We needed something to show that, yeah. I mean, looking at the clothes, it's like, But it's Jane the Ripper, right? I watched BuzzFeed Unsolved. I know Jack the Ripper. And I know there was no bathrooms involved. Okay. Alright. Let's see if we can hit this board instead of Sherlock. It's... the great detective, Mr. Sherlock Sholmes! Mr. Sholmes has his own wax statue in here? Really?
Well, he is world famous after all.
It's an uncanny resemblance, isn't it? It makes my skin crawl to look at it.
I know. But look, Rena, you can kick this Hurley and he doesn't move a muscle.
What? What? You can't go around kicking the exhibits, Iris. He's moving in the background. Oh, wait. It just moved, I'm sure, but... And not just a little bit either.
Really? Did it?
And look closely. There are beads of sweat on the face of this waxwork model. Shall we move on, Iris? Over there, look, there's a great murder scene to enjoy, much more appealing.
Hold it!
My dear fellow, will I take exception on your recoiling in such a manner if you've seen something truly abhorrent? Mr. Sholmes! I knew it. Iris, what has possessed you? I strictly forbade you from divulging my temporary waxwork secret to Mr. Naruto. Temporary waxwork? What do you mean? And that kick? Could you not have exercised a little more restraint? You winded me.
But Runa has something he needs to ask you.
Oh, a question.
And I thought you'd probably be getting bored too.
Wait. Does he just come here and stand in that spot and pretend to be a wax figure? What? Sherlock?
And here we are.
Well, I can't deny that your timing was impeccable. A mere 2 minutes before being stationary like that. And my great brain, upon which all my success had been built, would have turned to wax. Thank goodness we arrived in time. Indeed, in many ways, the pair of you just saved the world from an unimaginable loss.
Oh, Hurley, you do like to talk nonsense, don't you?
You could know something, it's true, about Lord Van Zeeks and what happened in the past to change him. Oh, I keep forgetting we're talking about Lord Van Zeeks. Now that you're here, let's take our time. How can I be of assistance? Oh, you're in luck. I'm suddenly quite taken with the idea of conversing. Oh, well, actually, I'm in quite a hurry. If my eyes don't deceive me, I believe something is afoot within the walls of this very museum. Most fascinating case, if I'm not mistaken. Really? Moreover, I have a strong suspicion that it is related to the matter about which you have come to me now. But how could it be? We shall speak again presently, my dear fellow. But for now, I must return to my work. Of being a wax statue? What, back to being a temporary waxwork experiment? What? What is this place? He's not gonna say anything because he's... Oh, never mind. Madame Tussbills came to London from France 3 years ago, I understand. Since she opened this little waxwork museum last year, it's enjoyed great popularity in London. There are museums like this in Japan too, but these displays are something else. I mean, they aren't made from actual real people, are they? The extreme realism of these waxwork models is a particular secret of the Tussbills family, they say. They earned renown during the French Revolution for waxworks of victims in the guillotine. Ugh, that sounds grim. The gruesome scenes were portrayed with such realism in the expressions of the faces of the condemned.
Apparently, the sculptors would make the models directly from the corpses, right? There at the site of the executions.
That's really turns my stomach. What? So like, it's like someone gets like executed via guillotine, and it's just like a wax sculptor at the scene. It's like, okay, hold that pose. All right, let me just get this part. What the hell? That's just one of several legends about the Tuspels family. Whether there is any truth to it, I couldn't say. But anyway, this museum houses models of famous people from all over the globe. Nevertheless, the most popular area of the museum, by some quite margin, is this House of Horrors. House of Horrors? Of course, visitor numbers are dwindling now as a result of the Great Exhibition. People usually flock here to see the exhibits of some of London's most vile criminals at their gruesome work. Naturally, most of the miscreants portrayed here were sent to the gallows. So they're even stiffer now than the models of them! Have you heard of poor taste? My dear fellow, the public live for poor taste. They yearn to be shocked. So the hideous exhibits in here are...
They all portray as real events that actually took place.
Is it just me, or did the temperature in here just seem to drop? Anyway, I advise you not to think too deeply about what you see here. He goes back. Oh, he's back to being a waxwork, is he? Temporary waxwork? What do you mean by a temporary waxwork, Mr. Sholmes? Exactly what you see. I'm part of the exhibits here, catching these criminals in the act. Catching them? Every half hour, I home in on a different killer in one of the displays to adopt a new pose to ensnare them. When members of the public come for a closer look, I offer them my hand to shake. So he's just here pranking people. For a shilling, I'll be happy to allow them to take a photograph with us. Us? Does he mean him and the waxwork murderers in here? But why, Mr. Sholmes? My dear fellow, isn't it obvious? For the money! Oh. You really roared at me there. Very fitting for the House of Horrors. As it stands, I may struggle to pay this month's rent. I have the rendezvous Iris to consider.
Oh, Hurley, I'm so hungry.
Oh god! If push comes to shove, I shall have to ask you to do your bit, Mr. Naruto. What's he threatening to rope me into now? So, with that in mind, how about a program? As a special treat, you may have your pick of the murderers and scoundrels in here. The choice is yours. Maybe some other time. Remember, Mr. Naruto, ignore me at your peril. Back to being waxwork again. Is it just me, or does his final remark there sound a lot like a curse? Well, what is it you'd like to ask me then? Actually, it's about Lord Van Zieks. Ah, our friend Mr. Reaper. How did you find him? Well, I trust. And so I filled Mr. Sholmes in about everything I learned. About Lord Van Zieks, about Professor Harebrain, and about the strange coincidence that they had been at the university together. So I'm wondering what it was that happened to make Lord Van Zieks such a different person.
I was sure that you know, Hurley.
You said there was something going on here in this exhibit hall before. That something was afoot. And that you believed it was related to what I wanted to ask you about. Mr. Sholmes? He suddenly clammed up. Why, no. Well, it seems we've reached the unavoidable. Oh, never mind. We avoided it again. God damn it! Greedy. Am I playing the right game? Is this Ace Attorney? What is this? Hello? Where'd she appear from? What's she wearing? Could she look any more mysterious? Oh my god. too British. I hope you are appreciating my museum. Oh, this is her? I'm sorry, have we? Mr. Jones, do you know this? He went back to... Not again! My apologies. I am Esmeralda Tuspels. This is my museum of waxwork. I can't do her voice properly. What? You're the Madame Tuspels? Oh no, she's French. They're only 26 years young, I might add. Is that significant somehow? I'm a madam in name only. It adds a certain je ne sais quoi. I don't know French. Right. Firstly, I must apologize for my waxworks. Or rather, I'm just going for a British accent because I can't do French. Or rather, one waxwork in particular. That would be Mr. Sholmes then. I was led to believe he was a great detective, but he seems unable to settle. Where the fuck did you... Where'd you pull that out of? What? Next time you move in from your designated exhibit, there will be toil and trouble. He went back out.
She sounds deadly serious.
That's a problem. How am I supposed to ask Mr. Sholmes about Lord Van Zeeks now?
Let's not forget what Harry said before about something being afoot. Right here in the museum, I mean.
Yes, I know, but...
I'm so curious. I want to know what's happening here.
We got enough on our plate already. Oh my god. Are you sure something is a foot? Or maybe something is a hand? But we can't investigate it. Did you make all these waxworks, Madam Tuspels?
I did. I'm the third generation of waxworks artisans, you know. Gosh! It was my grandmother who began the tradition in my family. Her fortunes were checkered, living through the turbulent times of the French Revolution as she did. Though that is when she acquired the savoir-faire that leads to the astonishing lifelikeness. All these waxworks really do look as though they're alive. In fact, they look more alive than Hurley. What you see exhibited here represents the most atrocious of London's criminal past. All the waxworks were created in the presence of the real people on which they are modelled, in the hours immediately following their executions. That is the secret to extraordinary lifelikeness.
That sounds terrifying.
All walks of life have similar challenges, I'm sure. To carry out one's trade par excellence, one must go to extraordinary lengths. My exhibits are a reflection of society. I create only that which the public wishes to see.
Ugh. Why couldn't the public have wished for something less horrifying?
Do not fear.
Sorry?
This room is the only one in the museum with such a macabre theme. I do hope you'll explore. There are models of famous singers, actors, politicians, something for every taste, I hope.
It was Iris who dragged me straight in here, come to think of it.
Sorry, perhaps I should have eased you into things.
Great detective waxwork. What's the situation with that?
My temporary waxwork model? He approached me some days ago, you see, with a business proposal.
Oh, what sort of proposal?
My dear madam, what these sparse exhibits need is the addition of a world-famous great detective.
Or words to that effect.
Uh,
Naturally, I'm well aware of that Mr. Sholmes is widely known in London as a talented detective.
it's great detective, actually. He's very specific about it.
Yes, the creme de la creme. So I was keen to come to some arrangement with him, of course. But sadly, we were unable to agree terms.
Let me guess, someone wanted to charge an exorbitant price for his services? Well, maybe £500! I will dive into your cauldron of wax this very moment.
Or words to that effect.
Mr. Sholmes might have overdone it slightly with the sales pitch.
Regrettably, the museum has a shortage of funds at the moment, due to unforeseen circumstances. So we came to the current arrangement instead.
Surely he doesn't need to do what he's doing though, does he?
I would think not, but he was very insistent.
I have a 50 shilling problem that must be resolved by the morning. Oh my god. It's rent.
Or words to that effect. It's a pawnbroker, that's what it is. You must have something to redeem.
Oh, or that. Is the consulting detective work not going so well? Something afoot. I wonder, can I ask you something?
Bien sûr, I don't know French.
I'm just curious, is anything going on in the museum at the moment? Some kind of incident, perhaps?
Whoever suggested such a thing to you?
Oh, well, it was your temporary waxwork over there who mentioned it to me a little. What? It's gone. Oh, he disappeared. Wax model is a work of art, not some tardy object for trade. Oh, there he is again. There you are. The music.
Leaving the exhibit again when you should be working? Do you wish to be melted down?
My dear Madame Tuspels, save your reprimands. There are still more pressing concerns. Oh, the wax can wait. It's our idea is that about your current problem we must throw into the melting pot instead. Personally, I would advise you not to involve the police.
Why even not?
She's turned as white as a sheet. Well, she was white before, but she got whiter. Because you have at your disposal a great detective, whose services you may employ for mere 50 shillings. Though, please be aware that I insist upon payment in advance.
Very well. Let us see if the great detective is able to live up to his name, shall we?
Before engaging my analytical processes, I must ask you to clarify something. Yeah, what the hell is that? What, pray, is behind the curtain?
As to spell special exhibit, there's an extra charge to see it.
Ah, the special exhibit in the House of Horrors. That depicts a serial killer then, I presume? Would you be so kind as to draw back the curtain, I wonder?
Absolutely none. No, absolutely none. There's nothing amiss behind there.
Nothing amiss, madam. What about the arm protruding ominously from under the curtain? I strongly encourage you to allow me to see what lies beyond before the situation worsens.
Yes, very well. I will draw back the kittens, but only as to...
I don't know French! This is bad for me. Oh.
graveyard? I must confess, I peeked behind the curtain earlier. The Tuspel special exhibit is a very bleak graveyard scene indeed. And yet, somewhat surprisingly, the waxwork killer one would expect is nowhere to be seen. What does strike one, however? What? Wait! It's the poorly gentleman lying peacefully on his back, on the floor. This is the juror guy, the juror guy from the first, or from McGilded's case? Well then perhaps Mr. Sholmes, that man on the floor is the ruthless killer himself. I'm afraid not, my dear fellow. He's a perfectly ordinary London gentleman. Not even a waxwork, in fact. What? As skillfully made as these waxworks are, they are always distinguishable from real humans. So, allow me to present my two conclusions. The first is that a sizable business transactions have been taking place in this special exhibit. But what?
Why would you say that?
And the second is that the aforementioned transaction is linked to a serious crime. She looks as pale as a candle wax. She was pale before, but now she... Okay. I don't understand. So, Madame Tuspels, as you've agreed to my fee, you shall now have the pleasure of seeing this famously great detective and temporary exhibit at work. Oh boy. The Great Detection, but for 15 shillings. Or no, it's 50 shillings. Waxworks Fate. To begin with, we must ask ourselves what exactly is afoot here in this museum. The answer is revealed by the bundle of banknotes protruding so helpfully from your bag. In my estimation, some £200.
That's all my own money.
So, what does this large sum of money reveal? Oh, not as much as the involuntary glance you cast. It would seem, Madame Tuspels. Yes, the answer lies where your eyes now fall. The significance of the £200 is revealed by that public notice. Oh boy. Waxwork for sale. Your business has hit hard times, it would seem. In short, you sold the infamous killer the centerpiece of your special exhibit for the sum of £200.
No!
Now, let us explore the next curiosity with which we are presented. Who is the portly gentleman stretched out so peacefully on the floor? It appeared the man has suffered a severe shock, the cause of which is clearly known to you. Unfortunately, madam, keeping secrets does not appear to be your forte. What dealt the man such a strong blow was, of course, the £200. It would appear that you twisted this gentleman around your little finger most effectively.
What are you suggesting?
He rashly agreed to purchase the waxwork for the sum of £200. Only when he claimed to hand the money over did it occur to him that what an extraordinary amount he was paying. But the money was no longer in his hands. And the result, the scene we've seen before us, he collapsed in shock. Oh my god. Yes, the killer in this special exhibit fetched a killer price. We can only pray that the gentleman's dreams are not plagued with regret. You know, Sherlock, I know your, initial deduction is supposed to be kind of stupid, but this is really stupid. Waxwork location. The question that arises then is what has become of the waxwork that changed hands? Let us consider the problem for a moment.
You cannot possibly...
What immediately strikes me about this conundrum is the young man standing over there. Who is this fellow? To find the answer we need only observe his neckerchief.
Such is worn by policemen as a secret sign to fellow members of the force that a crime is being perpetrated. What? Yes, this young man is an undercover policeman, currently investigating this museum. I know him well, in fact. It's Sergeant John Clay. What are you talking about? The man's quite a celebrity. He received triple accolades at last year's policing awards. But... Next, we turn our attention to the old man sat before him with a particularly unsightly visage. I've been watching closely and he hasn't moved a muscle. Almost, in fact, as if he was a waxwork. But you... Your reaction only confirms my suspicions, madam. I notice it once, of course. Observe! The telltale sign that instantly proves whether or not this old man is a waxwork is his obvious price tag. Threepence? A tragically low price, you might say. Though perhaps the going rate for aging waxworks riddled with cracks. And yet you sold it to the portly gentleman for an exorbitant £200. That's the sort of plucky behaviour that's sure to attract the attention of Scotland Yard. Isn't that so, madam?
I did not.
Yes, the waxwork you sold has already been seized by the police and remains in their custody as we speak. The old man must be reunited with his grave in the special exhibit, and not a moment too soon. I think what the actual thing is here is, is that I need to cough, but, thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this horrifying puzzle. Is that the machine to teleport someone, or beam someone over, right? It didn't actually work. And instead what happened was somehow, I don't know, somehow the cage vanished, but sorry. But, like, the person, because I think the person ended up, like, in the crystal tower? Like, yeah, because they were like, yo, you need to build that platform to get to the body. It was like, what, did the body, like, end up, like, severed in half between the glass? Like, what? I don't know. But, like, the body that was, oh god, my voice is dying. The body that was beamed over could have been a wax statue, right? Right? I mean, like, why would they bring up the whole Madame Tussauds area? I see I've stunned you all into silence.
You have, Harley. You have. And you've obviously upset this young lady in the process. Her cauldron looks awfully hot.
If I could just bring up one point, Mr. Sholmes? The notorious Naruhodo 1 point. I'm all ears, my dear fellow. According to your deduction, then, the special exhibit featured this old policeman. So, that would mean that he's the particularly ruthless murderer, wouldn't it? The killer policeman. Automo. Sorry? It was a mysterious series of murders that rattled the capital only last year. Police rushed to the scene every time, only to find the culprit had disappeared into the aether.
And it turned out that the culprit was the policeman himself, a senior officer by the name of Automo.
So you mean that's who's the sinister old man? What? So you mean that's who the sinister old man there is supposed to be? Indeed. It is a particularly grim face, is it not? Unforgettable, in fact. Yes, I remember that odious countenance only too well. But is £200 a lot of money for a model? It would be enough to afford one of the latest steam cartridges, if that puts things into perspective. So it is quite a lot then.
Is there anything else you wish to add? Before I melt you down?
That bubbling wax is looking more and more ominous.
The smell of all that molten wax is starting to worry me.
Mr. Sholmes did more or less just accuse her to her face, so... I think I might have to call your assistance here, Iris. Is that alright? To make some minor corrections to the Great Detective's great deductions.
Of course it's alright. We'll soon set things straight.
Well, let's get started then, shall we? Before Madame Tispel vents her anger. Just what I was waiting to hear, my dear fellow. So, Madame Tispel, in accordance with our agreement... Oh. Okay, so that was Sholmes, right? You shall not have the pleasure of seeing this famously great detective and temporary exhibit at work. But the correction... Hold on, Mr. Sholmes. To begin with, we must ask ourselves what exactly is afoot here in this museum. The answer is revealed by the bundle of banknotes protruding so helpfully from your bag. My estimation is some £200.
That is all my own money.
So what does this large sum of money reveal? Ah, not as much as the involuntary glance you cast, if you see Miss Tispel. Madame Tispel. Yes, the answer lies where your eyes. Oh, the answer lies where your eyes now fall. The significance of the £200 is revealed by that public notice. Yeah, no. She definitely looked in this direction. It's true.
But I'm not sure she'd sell any of her waxworks, even for £200.
Oh,
She must pour her heart and soul into making them, don't you think? Over and above the wax. If it were me, I wouldn't sell them for anything.
for that much money, I would, but it sounds like that makes me a bad person. Well, anyway. I wonder if the £200 could come from some other significance.
Let's follow that furtive glance again and see if there's anything else that could explain it.
Oh boy, okay. Oh! Note on the wall.
What's this note doing pinned on the wall here?
Oh yeah, let's see. Dear Madame Tuspels, we've taken the prisoner from this room. The price for his safe return is £200. What? Have the money ready by noon on the 23rd of October.
What? What?
This is... It's just like the sort of thing that's left behind when someone is kidnapped.
Yeah, it's a ransom note.
Exactly. Oh.
Take that!
The spin. The significance of the £200 is revealed by that ransom note. Quite so, and we must congratulate these criminals on their inventiveness, abducting a waxwork. £200 is no small ransom fee, yet you clearly intend to pay it.
The ball in question has special importance, so I put together all the money I have.
In summary then, the £200 you have in your handbook is ransom money. Now let us explore the next curiosity which we are presented. Here was the portly gentleman stretched out so peacefully on the floor. It would appear the man has suffered a severe shock, the cause of which is clearly known to you. Fortunately, madam, keeping secrets does not appear to be your forte. What dealt the man such a shocking blow is worth the £200. Okay. So, if the waxwork was kidnapped, where does that leave us in terms of who this man is?
We could just ask him when he comes around.
I think the point of this exercise is to understand the beauty of the deduction process, Iris.
Yes, you're right. Hurley's trying so hard, so we mustn't let him down.
Well, there's little doubt that he suffered a shock. That much seems clear. But in that case, what's Madame Tispel trying to hide? Let's have a closer look around. Maybe something behind her? Can't see though. Oh, an arm!
This is just Madame Tuspel's right hand, isn't it?
Yeah, it must be. I can clearly see her left hand, after all.
Oh, but wait a minute. This is the left hand as well, look.
Don't say such creepy things, Iris, please.
And it seems really stiff too. In fact, it's really hard.
You mean it's made of wax? Oh, sorry.
Take that!
Wax hand? What dealt the man such a shocking blow was, of course, the waxwork hand. Indeed. With a solid waxwork limb, one could deliver a very substantial blow.
How could you?
The hand protruding from the bottom of your cape. It ought to be a right hand, but closer inspection reveals that it's in fact a left hand. And somewhat masculine as well. In other words, it does not belong to you, madam. It is the hand of a waxwork model.
Some of the visitors to my museum can be troublesome. They meddle with the exhibits and cause damage.
So you mean that arm?
Yes, this gentleman saw it fit to try to remove it as a souvenir.
No small keepsake. Like taking a whole branch from a cherry tree when you go to view the blossoms.
I'm afraid I had to teach the man a lesson.
You confronted the man and tried to take the arm back. And the result, the scene we see before us. He was knocked unconscious. A point we may need to revisit later. But for the time being, we have our conclusion. Yes, the killer in this special exhibit has been kidnapped. Kidnapped. The question that arises then is what has become of this waxwork that changed hands? Let us consider that problem for a moment.
You cannot possibly...
Okay. Well, oh, it's this guy, right? What immediately strikes me about this conundrum is the young man standing over there. Who is this fellow? To find out the answer, we need only to observe the neckerchief. According to Mr. Sholmes, the yellow neckerchief is a sign to other policemen that some crime is underway.
A way of communicating with his colleagues without revealing his identity, yeah. It's a secret closely guarded by Scotland Yard.
That Mr. Sholmes doesn't hesitate to give away.
Well, uncovering secrets is in any true detective's nature, of course.
Right. Anyway, judging from Madame Tuspel's reaction to Mr. Sholmes' seduction, I think perhaps we might not have identified the man quite correctly. Yeah, he's missing an arm, right? Yeah. Shoulder stub. What the? The man has a stub sticking out of his shoulder where his arm should be.
Ah, well that settles that then.
Right, this isn't a real person at all.
His entire arm's been ripped off, from the shoulder down.
His arm's been... Of course, that ties in with what we just found out. Statues available, please. Please inquire. Statues available?
Take that!
Shoulder stub. Who is this fellow? To find the answer, we need only observe the his shoulder stub. No such boneless human walks this earth, of that I can assure you. In other words, the man standing here, the young Sergeant John Clay, is in fact defying all odds as a waxworks model. I seem to remember it was you who concluded he was a real person in the first place, Mr. Sholmes. Ignore it.
He has become quite a celebrity in London, being the winner of no less than 3 policing awards last year. I simply had to make a model of the man.
Naturally. What other explanation could there be? And it was this detective's arm that was pulled off by the man on the floor in the special exhibit, wasn't it? Next, we turn our attention to the old man sat before him with a particularly unsightly visage. I've been watching closely and he hasn't moved a muscle. Almost, in fact, as if he were waxwork.
But you...
Your action only confirms my suspicions, madam. I noticed it at once. Of course, observe! The telltale sign that instantly proves whether or not this man is a waxwork is the obvious price tag. Okay. Who is this guy? A killer policeman called... Oh right, Ottermole. Was he well known?
It was all over the papers last year, but I can't say I know what he looks like. It's a very low price though. 3 isn't much money.
Only enough for a few measly hours of gas in Mr. Gyarados' delightful lodgings, in fact. So, this is the special killer taken for the special exhibit, is it? The waxwork that somebody stole from the museum and tried to ransom for £200. Is this crusty old killer policeman Ottermole? Really?
Perhaps we should get a good look around again and see if another idea crops up.
Oh, whoa. Whoa, someone's alive? Look at this. The old man's tapping his foot like crazy.
He seems to be fast asleep though.
He's not tapping his foot consciously then? So you mean...
It must be a twitch.
Never mind that. The point is waxworks don't tap their feet.
Or twitch.
And look at his arm too. We've seen a scarf like that somewhere else around here, haven't we?
Take that!
The telltale sign that instantly proves whether or not this old man is a waxwork is the obvious twitch. Even the most realistic waxwork do not exhibit a twitch. In other words, this splendid old man is in fact a genuine member of Scotland Yard. Slight shift in your choice of adjectives then. And there you have it. Well, Madam Two Spells?
Well, what? It was me who contacted the police and demanded that someone come here in the first place.
He is clearly fatigued. He is sound asleep. But then, what's the tag showing the price of what's this tag about showing the price of 3 pence? Isn't it the scarf? No doubt the price tag of the muffler, which the old Bobby purchased recently at the local market. And I presume you've observed the scarf tied around his arm. Does that not strike you, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, the secret sign used by detectives to show that some criminal activity is currently underway.
Of course, because, as you know, there has been just such criminal activity happening here. As you deduced from the very beginning, Detective.
So, it would seem that we finally arrive at the truth. The waxwork of the especially ruthless killer from the special exhibit has been kidnapped. And Scotland Yard are already investigating. But the model's whereabouts remain a mystery. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this horrifying puzzle. Still a mystery. Solved. Deduction complete. Elementary. All sorts of people visit my museums here. Men and women, young and old. Sometimes they drop in just for a short time on their way back from the pub. I welcome them all. But if anyone tries to damage my exhibits, I do not take it lightly. Anyway. Your great deduction was even more enchanting than I had been led to believe. Are you sure? We did most of the work. It's a pleasure, my dear madam. I'm gratified that you enjoyed the spectacle. And as for your rough customer, I've no doubt he'll regain consciousness shortly and return home. What concerns me more is the waxwork from the special display. If it was indeed genuinely abducted.
Yes, tragically, it was.
Then I would ask you to recount to us the events surrounding the stolen waxwork. In as much detail as possible, if you please.
Very well. But after I have told you what I know, I must insist that you return to your work.
Of being a figure. The talents of a great detective could be put to better use, I feel. But as you wish. Why am I so tired? Stolen art waxwork. Tell us more about the stolen waxwork, please.
It was some days ago now, when I came in here one morning. I immediately noticed that a waxwork was missing from the special exhibit here. It's your most prominent display, so that's why the curtains were closed. And I found the ransom note in its place.
The culprit must have broken in during the night and taken it then.
So this waxwork that was stolen, it was a model of some horrible criminal, I suppose?
Of a particularly horrible criminal, in fact. The killer who left a more profound scar on society than any other, I would say. The Professor. Not a name I've heard of. So, Mr. Naruhodo, it seems the circle is complete. Sorry? Is this relating to Van Zieks then?
The Professor case happened at around the time I was born, didn't it?
Like 10 years ago? Indeed it did, Iris. 10 years ago, a series of murders that rocked the capital. 10 years ago? Yes, at exactly the time that Baruch Van Zieks graduated from university, in fact. What? Surely he's not saying...
So the big event that changed Mr. Reaper's life.
As you've surmised, it was the Professor case. Who was this Professor then? The Professor is such a cryptic name. It was a series of gruesome murders that had all of London gripped in terror a decade ago. After 5 victims were killed, the man was arrested and put to death. And now he's immortalized here in wax for all Londoners to admire and enjoy. Though, of course, he happens to be absent at the present, on account of the abduction. But I don't understand. How is this all related to Lord Van Zieks? You must first understand, my dear fellow, why it is that the Professor earned such infamy. It was due to the victims he chose, some of Whitehall's finest. So he killed the students?
What do you mean, Hurley?
He was murdered by the Professor with some of the highest members of the British aristocracy. I know words. Never mind, they're not students. Members of nobility, even royalty. It sent shockwaves through the country's administration. Members of the... Ah, wait, of course! What Professor Harebrained said. Lord Van Zieks is from a family with noble blood.
Oh my gosh!
It was the fifth victim that led to the Professor's arrest. The last of the killer's prey was a young noble by the name of... Clint Van Zieks. No, I don't believe it. Van Zieks? Ah, I see. I'm sure you can piece together the rest for yourself. In the wake of his older brother's murder, the young Barak pursued a career as a prosecutor, and eventually became the Reaper we know today. I see. I had no idea Lord Van Zieks had such a tragic past. You're telling me he's not just a vampire that sleeps in the coffin? Well, I'm afraid that's all I can say on the matter. For the time being, at least. After all, I have work to do. As a statue. As a waxwork exhibit.
I'm afraid I shall have to excuse myself as well.
Oh, yeah, of course. It's been a pleasure. Thank you. I kind of want to check ages, if you'll let me. Well, none of the predicted scenarios I've been analyzing involved you coming to visit me here. Who? Oh! What? What?
It's been too long, it really has. I'm delighted to see you, Barak.
It's been 10 years. Here we are. Reading a prison of all places.
I can't forgive myself for what happened to Mr. Asman. I just can't. I still can't believe it could happen.
Tomorrow, the court will decide.
Yes. I have a young Easterman acting as my defense. He seems reliable enough, though. It was an accident. A terrible accident. He assures me he can prove it.
I must warn you. I must warn you.
Oh, I know. I've heard already. You're going to be prosecuting, aren't you?
Yes.
Awkward. Since I returned to England, I've heard lots of stories. Barak, are you really...
What?
Never mind. I know that you have my best interests at heart.
My friend is on trial. I wouldn't entrust it to anybody else.
Of course, I fully understand. Thank you, Barak.
Until tomorrow, then. I'll see you in court. I like how he talks to him by, like, facing away from him. Also, no, I wanted to check the profiles! Let me just double check. Okay. I don't know why, I'm very tired today, so I'm gonna just call it a stream. And then tomorrow we'll do the trial part. Hey, at an earlier time. And at a time where I'm less tired. Yep. Okay. Good night.